Good evening. Welcome to full Hammertime of our lives, our weekly season review. This week we are dealing with season 1994-1995. Apologies, Duke cannot make it tonight. He has been absolutely snowed under with work, so obviously the pub game is going pretty well, it seems, after lockdown has been slightly eased by our friend Boris. So I've got two co-conspirators. Without further ado, let's introduce Mr. Andy Miles. How are you, sir?
It's nearly the weekend, mate. It's nearly the weekend. I feel a lot better than what I did. When did we do the show? Tuesday. So I'm more fired up and in the mood. And obviously, I've got my
Monday,
child.
wasn't it? Was it Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday?
Both of them. We done another show on Tuesday as well, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to say you didn't look too clever either. To be fair.
No, but no, I've got my
you're looking
school.
better.
Yeah, I've got my naughty school room partner with me again tonight. So the detention from you probably.
Yeah, a pair of you will be, getting lines and made to sit in the corner with the dunce's hat on. The kids are all sitting there going, "What the hell is that?"
Mr. Gates is the best. Mr. Gates
Oh
is
dear. Right, I'm going to bring in the other naughty schoolboy. Here he is. Oh, look, he's on the hard stuff again. Look, he's on the Bacardi. We haven't even started.
I need to get them to sponsor the channel. Having thought about it, I need to give them a call. Yeah, we give them a lot. We give them a lot of coverage. Yeah.
Well, I just sort of, so you don't feel left out. I'm on the Polish lager again. I've got to say, the Poles do make a decent lager. It has to be said. So
great. Red Bull's dangerous. Ooh.
He's on the Red Bull. Yeah.
Goes good with vodka. Yeah, goes good with vodka.
Yeah, I know. Ready now?
Just looking at the live chat. We've got JNJ Football saying, "Evening, chaps. Hello.
Evening.
Hope you're well." I was on one of their streams earlier, guys. Go and check them out. They're, I was watching it and I was getting involved in the live chat. It was good. It was good stuff. It was all about the Euros and yeah, it was very interesting.
Good.
So yeah, so here we are, gentlemen. We're here to discuss another season in the history of West Ham United Football Club, specifically season 1994-1995. So this came obviously in the wake of Billy Bonds, Billy Bonds during the summer, in circumstances that even to this day, there's still conjecture about what exactly happened and who did what and who was responsible for this. But the bottom line was that Billy Bonds did not start as the manager. He walked away and his number two, Harry Redknapp, became the manager. And yes, discuss your memories of that, Jazz, because I'm sure you've probably got a fairly clear recollection of things like I have.
We got to remember, I was at university then, but just another thing is that we didn't have the internet then. Gatesy.
I was in nappies still then, Jazz.
Yeah. I used to babysit you. I remember with Bacardi, but anyway.
Oh, you can.
So the way we look at news now and then is very different. So I don't think a big deal was made that much then the way we think about it. Imagine now it would have been all the channels going ballistic. It kind of was a little bit not sure what happened. And it was just like, oh, Billy's left, personal reasons, and can't go into what's gone on. And obviously looking at one of the games, well, not one of the games, but the first program of the first game of the season, which I don't think we're going to cover, but you look at it on the first page, that's the gaffer, because the gaffers always have
Leeds?
That's absolutely correct. It's Leeds. It's obviously, August the 20th, 1994. And obviously we know that the managers carry their column in the West Ham programs on the first page. So it's called Hammer Harry. And it's kind of, no one's more disappointed than me that Bill's left. I tried to persuade him to stay. He said, it's right to go. We've had great times. And I'm sure he'll get back in the game, do a brilliant job. And that's 5 sentences for Billy. And then the whole So that first paragraph is Billy. The rest of it is all me, 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 me. It's all like on the personal note. I'm proud. I'm from Poplar. I've got 10 years at Bournemouth, so no one dare call me a novice. I'm bringing Frankie Baby on board because he's managed some 10-year-old kids for a couple of weeks and he knows a bit of coaching. We're both EastEnders lads. And then he goes in, and then he just, so he's back, he's tapping himself on the back throughout. I bought Lee Chapman. I know wheeling, dealing. I'm getting a reputation for it now. I'm proud of it. I know the preseason friendlies have been crap, but stick with us. And that's Harry summed up, isn't it? All in one, really.
Yeah. No, it's fairly concise, fairly well remembered, to be fair, Jazz. I mean, I know it all sort of came out latterly that the story was that apparently Bournemouth were trying to get Harry Redknapp as manager, and I think it was Peter Storey then turned around and floated the idea. Well, I tell you what, why don't you become the director of football or the general manager, whatever the term was, and Harry can then be the manager. And Bill was like, well, I don't want to do that, blah blah blah. And I think he'd also been quite frustrated by the situation that unfolded in that summer with a certain Mr. Joey Beecham, who obviously was signed and then was sold very, very quickly. I think that played a part in his frustration. But I know that obviously even to this day that this is still something that has caused a schism in that relationship between Billy Bonds and Harry Redknapp, because at one point they were very close friends, and now I don't think they've spoken pretty much since the day that this all happened, more or less.
We got to remember that Harry, I think he must have hated being manager. I don't know how he did it. He's not that type of bloke. We all know as a player, he used to be kind of at home at 5:20, I think, within half an hour of the game finishing, in the bath, no interviews.
Billy, you mean?
Billy, yeah, straight home, doesn't like the media, doesn't like interviews. And then I think
I heard stories when he was a player. He was straight through. Basically, he got in, had a quick shower, and he was through the Black Wall Tunnel while the others were still in the bar.
There's not many interviews of him. The first one I saw was when he got the OBE, which he obviously was so proud. He done an interview then, and there was a big American documentary on him, if you remember. Billy Bonds, 45 years old, playing for West Ham. You remember all that one? so he's famous for that.
Do.
But you raised a really good point that the Beecham affair could have put him over the edge, saying, "Is this what the modern game has come to?" If he looks at his own career, and this is the guy who can't drive 35 minutes down the road, which should be a dream move to West Ham United. And it could be a lot of things. And Harry's one of those, perhaps. Obviously shining in front of we all got these people at work. We call them bum licking. We call it waving your eyes in front of the manager, trying to get a promotion. We know all these people at work.
I call it lick balls.
Yeah. So maybe that Harry did that in front of the board. And obviously it looks like a lot of the signings were his. I mean, I'm not going to take from Harry. He was very good at signing players, which we're going to go into this season, and he finds a lot of gems. But yes, two very different people. One's a man's man, proud, very traditional person, and then the other one's, I don't know how to sum Harry up, mate. He's a Del boy, isn't he? Wheeler dealer, mate. What can I say?
You can't call him a wheeler dealer. He gets the ump at that. Did you ever see that interview, that post-match interview that he did, where someone said about he was wheeling and dealing and he told them where to go?
Well, when the media loves you, like they love Mourinho, you're a bit of a shady character yourselves. And I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, mate. And the way he managed West Ham and Tottenham, Southampton and Portsmouth, you don't do things like that. If you got some character about you, and he's from 1960, he's not young. He knows what you should do, what you shouldn't do. He just looks at a pound dollar and you can see that statement. It's like if I had a fight with someone and really injured him badly, the next day I'd say, "Oh, you'll be all right next day, mate. You'll be patched up." And then the next half an hour, I'll talk about what a great night that was, wasn't it, lads? It was that kind of statement. It was just was lies. Yeah. It didn't have any meaning to it. And he's scared. Billy will knock him out, so he doesn't mention it. He's scared of him. And Billy's had that podcast and interview, and Billy, as far as he could say, because he doesn't want to say anything, he's like, He said, yeah, he
Is that
kind
the
of
one
said,
where he accused Harry of basically spouting quotes unquote
yeah.
a pack of lies?
He done a little laugh and a giggle, and he goes, "That sums us up, mate." He goes, so you can tell he thinks he's like the bit of crap that you find at the bottom of your shoe, mate. Billy thinks that low of Harry, so it's all over, mate. But yeah, two very different characters, and I know which one I'd call a friend, me, out of the two. Put it that way.
Talking about it, I'm talking about Harry and Jamie. Their show, obviously, last week they had Mr. Declan Rice on via a video call. This week, Jesse Lingard's in the studio on their
Can I
show.
just point something out though?
Hmm?
The Rednaps might have got Declan Rice. Hammer's chat got him first though.
Yeah, I know. but no. So obviously, big Tom Davis is a big fan obviously of West Ham as well. So yeah, he's on there tonight. So that'll be an interesting interview because that was recorded on Tuesday night. So that's obviously after we qualified from Europe, and there's a video on Instagram with Tom Davis begging him to stay. So I don't know what else he's told him to say. I know it's just while we're talking about Redknapp, but
I'll be worried with Rice hanging around with the Redknaps because they don't know what loyalty means. I don't know about Jamie, but certainly Harry doesn't. You know, I would not want loyal players hanging around Harry because Harry's all pounds and dollars. Can you imagine Harry off the camera? What you'd say? Come on, son, you can do better than West Ham. You know, know what Harry's like. That's my worry. Yeah.
That is. Do you know what? I hadn't stopped and thought about it, but now you mention it, I'm like, oh crumbs. Oh dear, not good.
You're terrific. You're terrific, Declan. You're terrific.
Yeah, you
mate.
should be doing. You should be playing for a bigger club.
Yeah,
great.
You can do anything. You can do anything.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Don't believe in loyalty, mate. Yeah, all that stuff.
So just going back in time. So as I say, this is the season that Bonds and Redknapp quit. Bonds quit. Redknapp took over. And obviously this all came shortly after. Do you remember the World Cup in the United States, Jazz? Again, you're probably a little bit too young to remember this, Milesy, unfortunately.
I do remember because one of the games, this was kind of famous for the Maradona drugs thing, if I'm right.
Yes.
Where he ran to the ground and did that sign when you're taking drugs, and he'd looked zonked, didn't he, out of it, and they had Batistuta and all kinds of players. And I think the final was won on penalties. Was it Brazil, Italy, if I'm right? Oh God, what's the guy who did that baby sign? Bebeto, I don't know, Bebeto or something.
Oh, Bebeto, yeah. They scored in the quarters against the Netherlands.
You could tell it was quite hot out there, so they've done quite well. And
yeah,
I remember.
Do you remember the opening ceremony? Diana Ross taking a penalty. And
not
she
really.
missed.
I remember like Ireland being based near New York, and they're saying bloody half of New York's Irish anyway. We're going to have a huge following there, if you remember.
Yeah, and I think they have a game at Boston as well.
Somewhere, huge Ireland following. So I remember it bits and bobs. It doesn't for me. I just love the Mexico World Cups. You know, I'm a bit like traditional. I just love every World Cup. I wanted to be in Mexico because I think of it fondly. The 71, obviously watching it back, and 86, I was kind of at secondary school in my element, collecting all those stickers that I keep going on about. And it's Italia 90. Italia 90 was quite a poor World Cup, Gatesy, when you think about it, until you got to the semi-finals. Of about 3-4 games were good in the whole tournament. It was pretty dull. Yeah. You've probably forgotten it. It wasn't all that. I think Cameroon lit it up a bit. Argentina played for a 0-0 in every game, if you remember. By penalties, they kept on progressing in the camp. Germany-England game was probably the best game of the whole tournament, the semi-final. That was a huge match, and we were, oh my God, just was in the second time. I think 86 we got robbed in the quarterfinals for one or two other things, and 90 we got so close and gave him such a good game. And there's a good podcast on Bobby Robson as well. Everyone should watch it. He's a bit like John Lyle. You know, he had a tough time as England manager, you know, as everyone did back then, and he managed to bring us through two reasonable World Cups in 86 and 90, I think. 88, I don't want to talk about. That was a complete write-off. But it all comes back. It all comes back, doesn't it, Gatesy? Talking about these years, it all comes back.
Yeah. Some good memories and some not so good ones as well thrown in, but that's life, isn't it?
Thing is, we were all young then, weren't we, at school, at home, having fun, and it was good.
I think I'd have been about 17, 18 at this stage, something like that. So I remember that about the World Cup. You know, the opening ceremony, and Diana Ross was sort of prancing across the pitch, and then she takes a penalty, and there's a goalkeeper in the goal, and she takes the penalty. She misses it by a million miles, and the goal falls apart, and she carries on with her opening ceremony and all the rest of it. And how little did we know that the final itself would go to a penalty shootout as well.
Where was the final, Gatesy? Where was the final? Yeah.
If I remember rightly, it was Pasadena, California.
Well, it doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, because you wouldn't because they're not footballing country. I wouldn't know where they're. I always wanted to go to the Mexico World Cup final ground. Guadalajara, I think it's called.
The Azteca.
That's one of my dreams. I have to see that ground in my life.
Yeah. It's one of those.
We used to hear about the Maracana, didn't we? The old concrete Maracana before it got revamped. Legend. Yeah.
My memory from America was their penalty shootout. Well, it wasn't a shootout when you have to run at the goalkeeper, isn't it? 1-on-1.
Oh, yes, that's what they do, or I don't know whether they still do, but I know they used to do it. Yeah, they'd start. I don't know if it was on the halfway line.
Really?
Ball at their feet, and instead of it being a penalty shootout, they'd sort of like have 10 seconds or something like that to
score.
Sort of like go from the centre spot or whatever the point was. I'm sure it was a centre spot. And come and run towards goal and try and beat the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper could come out and all sorts. And I mean, I suppose you could argue that there was more skill in that than there is at striking a ball for 12 yards. But
the Yanks love an
try and muck about.
Yeah, the Yanks love action, don't they? So that's probably why they done it.
Yeah.
What Dad used to tell me that the games that do well in America is where the score is changing a lot. He goes, those are the games that do well over there, like like
basketball.
All those kind of games. They like interaction and different things.
I want to go to America just to experience it, like a baseball, basketball, and hockey. I want to go and watch all three. Just to see
I was invited to the baseball event at the OS from a bank that I work with, and I didn't want to go. I said, I'm not going. I'm not watching bloody baseball there. I've got a season ticket there, and then in the summer, I don't want to go there again. I'm just like, forget that. So I don't know what it's like.
For the American, the accent, the thing. Sorry, we're going off topic, but I saw it. This bloke went, I've got all my meals in one. So it's a big massive drink. Then you have the chicken around it, chicken and chips around it, and then you have like a dessert in the middle. So it's all 3 meals at one. And you carry it like a bouquet of flowers.
I mean, I've been there, and it's a ridiculous portions, and the people. A 10-year-old looks like he's 15. A 15-year-old looks like he's 20. And McDonald's, And talking about penalties, Gatesy, didn't we all enjoy last night, my friend?
I didn't watch it. I heard about it. I mean, I was listening to it on my Alexa, and
I watched the penalties.
That's about a real attritional, boring game.
The goalkeepers are very
Villarreal,
poor.
I mean, but fair play to Villarreal. I mean, they should never have got anywhere near Manchester United, and they turned them over.
I think we need to respect their manager, which Arsenal didn't.
Oh, hello! Look at this, lads. Chicken wrapped in bacon, potato, and broccoli for dinner.
Oh, leave the broccoli on the side. Yeah, leave the broccoli.
Oh, no, I like a bit of broccoli. I don't mind that.
I don't know. I'm quite. I don't know.
Should we?
Jazz, have you got all your transfers and ins and outs and various other little nuggets of information before we get into the main course of the matches?
Yep. Let's start.
Food.
Let's start, lads. Let's start. So, just before the start of the season, the English transfer record was broken by our good friends Blackburn Rovers, who we've been talking about. Jack Walker can't get rid of the cash enough, and the kids are watching in pain as the inheritance is going million by million. But he pays $5 million for a 21-year-old Norwich striker, Chris Sutton.
Oh, whatever happened to him, I wonder?
Oh, he's always on the media giving it a big one, mate. He's quite aggressive as a pundit, as we know on BT Sport.
Oh, yes.
But that record was broken again in January that season when Manchester United paid $6 million for Andy Cole from Newcastle, in a deal which saw $1 million rated Keith Gillespie move to Newcastle. Other significant transfers were Vinnie Samways, Tottenham to Everton, $2 million. Rocastle is on the move once again, like I was mentioning, and this is probably his last move before he leaves the country. Man City to Chelsea, and his value is half to 1.25 million. So Arsenal were right to kind of sell him. It looks like his performances are dwindling every season. This is the player I would have loved at West Ham. I really liked him as a kid. It's Mr. Klinsmann. It's the diving Klinsmann. Monaco to Spurs, 2 million. Spurs have got the money out. This could be the Alan Sugar years, perhaps. John Scales, Wimbledon to Liverpool for a whopping 3 million. A lot of money for John Scales, isn't it? Perhaps.
It was.
Weighs a lot.
Yeah. I believe he was one of those model-looking type players who had a few starstruck girlfriends, shall we say, back then, if I remember. Paul Kitson. A name that he goes from Derby to Newcastle for 2.2 million. Very good finisher, Kitson.
Yeah, he was good. Did well for us. Just got a few injuries though at the wrong time, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, we'll go into what happened in the season in terms of winning things later on. But what I wanted to touch upon is some controversial incidents. In January 1995, Manchester United's 20-year-old Eric Cantona, the holder of the PFA Player of the Year award, assaulted a Crystal Palace fan who racially abused him in a 1-1 draw. We all know the kung fu kick in the crowd, and it led to, if people have forgotten, he was banned from football. Wow, I didn't know it was that long. 8 months, fined £20,000, which is so much money today, and back in 95. Sentenced to, I didn't know about this. Sentenced to 14 days in prison.
Yep.
He was probably treated like a god. He'd be like, "Yeah, you're doing football classes today, Eric, if you don't mind."
Well, the prison
14 days.
Yeah, prison sentence was
He didn't
later
actually
cancelled.
I was going to say he didn't actually serve it in the end, did he?
120 hours cutting people's grass and painting, and putting varnish on fences and that kind of thing back then, really. But I remember the commentary from Jonathan Pearce, and it looks like Jonathan Pearce is about to cry. I don't know what happened to him. He's like, shocking. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. I don't know what's going on. What's happening to the world? You know what he's like. He's really got.
Was this a
into
televised game then? When he actually done it?
I think it was.
I don't know, because I don't really watch him, but I remember the commentary, because when this became quite popular, then Capital Gold was kind of everywhere, really. Other incidents, Dennis Wise was convicted of criminal damage, assault, and a fight with a taxi driver in London, given a 3-month prison sentence. But here's the magic line: it's quickly overturned on appeal.
Yeah, yeah. But when you're a sort of footballer, you can afford really good lawyers.
Paul Merson admitted in 1994 November that he had a drinking issue and also cocaine and gambling.
Who's that?
Paul Merson.
Oh, Paul.
He underwent a 3-month rehab program. Chris Armstrong, Crystal Palace striker, failed a drugs test. I don't know what the hell's going on this season, in February 95, and admitted he's going to rehab again and says sorry. George Graham was sacked in February that year after 9 years in charge, when it was revealed that he had accepted an illegal payment of $425,000 from Norwegian agent linking to the signing of John Jensen. And
Rune Haug wasn't his name?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
remember that.
And he was later banned from football for 1 year by the FA. So that was it. But another interesting point is, obviously, we've got change of manager, and then at Ipswich, I believe John Lyall leaves and Paul Goddard has got a spell as a caretaker manager before George Burley takes over. Stuart Houston takes over the Arsenal job. And I think that's it, really, from a general point of the main things that are going on, I think. Yeah. I can't read that from my phone.
Don't worry about it,
Matt.
It's a load of shit. Oh, Mark. Oh, my goodness.
Why would you say that even if you had it? Oh my god! Honesty, innit, Mark? Too honest, mate.
Oh yeah, no filter.
Oh, Mark, can you tell us? Is the sofa? What state is the sofa in, mate? Can you tell us?
Oh, please. I hope for your sofa, because I tell you what, otherwise that is going to be a nightmare to clean.
Leather, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be bad enough, even if it is leather. But for Christ's sake,
it can scar. I don't know who's in his family can scar the kids for life. They will not go in the room again.
Fucking hell.
Oh, dear. Bring your friends, bring your dinner, and you.
Another quick thing, Gatesy.
Yes, mate.
In terms of assists, Matt Letizia is at the top with 15, Darren Anderson 14, and Alan Shearer 13. So those are the main people setting up goals. Yeah, those are the main things, I think. The rest we can talk through the games. But yeah, those are the main transfers. And then a lot of players in trouble, isn't it, over... But is this because of the money coming in from Sky? I mean, we're in our third season. I mean, I don't know, isn't it? Is that turning people into, like, I remember Matthew Everington mentioning that the day you used to get paid, the money was gone in the bookies, wasn't it? It was gone. You had to borrow money for the rest of the month.
Well, that's the thing. They started getting so much money at this point, they probably didn't know what to do with it. If we're being
he must be on the toilet
it.
typing away now, isn't he?
Probably. Like I say, he's probably cleaning the couch. You know, what do you do? Oh, is that is that you done, Jazz? Or
yeah,
you
that's it.
You got to do the West Ham transfers.
Yep, got to do the West Ham transfers.
Yep, don't forget them.
I can tell that the money is going up slowly. So just linking back to all the money coming in. So these players left during the season. David Burrows went back to Everton. I'm not saying at the beginning of the season, but during the season, which I need to remember. Like, why the hell is he gone? Is it Dixie back again? I need to check.
Yes.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is. What? Well, why would you? I mean, David wasn't doing anything wrong. Was it just a case of Harry saying
no? But I think
if
once
Dix
he
is
brought
available,
Dixie back,
he's
not going to play, is he?
Yeah, and you can't say no to Dixie coming back.
Nah.
Peter Butler left for Notts County, which I think Gatesy will feel a little bit aggrieved by.
Oh, I like Butler. I did like
you
Butler.
You Butler.
Butler. Yeah, that's it. No, I like Peter Butler. I loved him. He was a combative Yorkshireman. Didn't give a monkeys. Wholehearted.
Lee Chapman went to Ipswich during the season. Went back. Steve Jones went to Bournemouth. Mike Marsh. I don't understand this one either. Mark Marsh has gone to Coventry. Wheeling, dealing. What's he gone about now?
Jesus Christ. Oh God. Oh, thanks for that. Thank you for that. No, it's staying there. Thanks for that information, Mark.
You're not allowed in the pub. You're not coming. I'm not shaking your hands. I
think we'll keep you arm's length, Mark, when we go down to the pub. Let me tell you, nothing personal. You understand? But,
Oh man! When you come in, wear those post-it pads saying "I'm Mark" on the forehead, so we know who you are.
I think Duke will have to order the adult-sized high chair.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jazz.
No probs. I'm going to give Marzi another minute while I have another tickle. Cheers, Gatesy. Cheers, mate.
God bless, Jazz.
Cheers, mate.
And you, Marzi.
We're live.
We are. All human life is here. Well, Mark's jumped in with a little nugget. And again, this is going back to July 94. Spurs had a 12-point deduction reduced to 6 on appeal. The FA Cup ban remains. Fine increased from 600,000 to 1.5 million.
What's that for?
I believe that was the financial irregularities, wasn't
I forgot about that.
it? I think it
Shit.
was something to do with Mr. Venables. I seem to recollect.
Oh, that's why the FA were never keen on him, weren't they? Yeah, you're right. But anyway, going back to the West Ham transfer, so let's wrap this up. So Joey Beecham, Gatesy, he joined from Oxford for $1 million. What's he said now?
Do you know the really annoying thing is his last little bit about I think you need a different breed of washing machine, and of course, what do I do for a living? God, I am, Mark, I am not coming to your house to fix your washing machine. With the greatest of respect, thanks for joining us.
Put
But just
put
no.
them in 2 carrier bags and put them in the bin. You can't reuse those. Jesus Christ! Go on eBay and just get a replica. Bloody hell, mate!
Don't go there, Mark.
Don't use.
Start again.
Yeah,
Start again.
Don't. Oh, bloody hell! That smell won't leave the washing machine, probably.
The problem is, Mark's having a conversation, and you just got like Luke trying to be all serious, and then she starts fucking pissing herself.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get back on track in a minute. Thank you.
Go on, Jazz.
So Joey Beecham joined the season in June for $1 million. That's a lot of money for West Ham. $1 million from Oxford. John Moncur. This was a Monk season. John Moncur joined from Swindon. The story there goes that Harry asked Jamie, who's the best midfielder, one of the best in the country. He said, Dad, it's John. So he signed John Moncur. I didn't know much about him, but he was such a great flair player, really brilliant, skillful guy.
Dodgy haircut, though.
Dodgy haircut, links to Tottenham, but in the programme...
Like the booking.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I think that came later on. At the beginning, he was all about skill. And isn't he a good golfer? Am I wrong? Isn't he? I think John Moncur...
I don't know.
His brother? Is his brother? I don't know. There's some golf connection to Moncur. I don't know what it is, mate. But listen, that's 900,000. So you couldn't... Harry... So that's the thing with Harry. Wherever he goes, I don't know how he does it. He just twists the arm of the board and they just open their wallets for him. Have you noticed that? And after he's gone, they all go bankrupt. So, there's Billy signing players for £10 and £5, and Harry comes in. That's what, 1.9 million. So Moncur's not. And Adrian Whitbread, which I didn't think, but then I remember that's part of the. So that's part of the deal with Joey Beecham. Yeah. We got 850 cash plus Beecham. So we got 150 hit, and then Beecham comes on board. But Whitbread was never a West Ham player. The guy I had a lot of time for. I used to like him. I love the Don Hutchinson signing. But that's 1.5 million. I'm like, what the hell? So 1.5 million. Don Hutchinson joins from Liverpool. Tony Cottee arrives in September. Yeah, I love Don. Loved him. He actually responded to one of my tweets. I was pissed one morning, and I praised him a lot. And he's like, oh my God, no one says that about me. It's like a poem, like you're this, you're this, you're that. And he's like, oh, I fucking love that, mate.
Yeah, he's a funny character on social media now. He does a lot of stuff for the foreign TV, and when you hear him just commentating and stuff like that, he's more for joking around and everything as well. But
Gatesy, do you remember that foreign trip? I think was it with Liverpool, where a lot of drugs were involved, and he's photographed with doing things he shouldn't do over the news of the world. Perhaps this rings
a bell.
Yeah, this led to the transfer, I think, to West Ham. He wasn't behaving in a Liverpool way, I think, something like that.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Anyway, TC came back. The Sun came back. Doesn't mention a transfer fee. Les Seeley, free transfer from Blackpool. Mark Watson and Mark Reaper. But Mark Reaper came at the end in May from Brøndby.
Was he a loan signing to begin with, or did we buy him? I can't remember.
It doesn't say. It just says he came for.
We also got Michael Hughes, didn't we?
Let me check Reaper. When did he start?
Strasbourg, if I remember rightly, on loan.
You're right. Yeah, Reaper came in February. So he played in February and wrapped it up at the end. So people going out the door is Tony Gale to non-league Wilston, free transfer.
Really?
But I think Blackburn picked him up after that. I think this website's probably a little bit inaccurate. I think he might have gone there for a day or two. And then
because he won the Premier League with Blackburn this season.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. Yeah. Peter Butler's gone to Notts County, 350 grand. Steve Jones has gone to Bournemouth, 150k. Mike Marsh, Coventry, 450. Chapman, 70. Well, he's getting to the end of his career. Matt Holland, free transfer to Bournemouth. Not wheeling and dealing between West Ham and Bournemouth, as you expect with Harry.
Mhm.
But the
I
Nets,
didn't know that West Ham Online. Apparently, West Ham Online's dad plays golf with John Moncur. Might be a way to get him on the stream one day.
There is some link with golf to John. I think either he's up there like Dick's, really good golf player, or had this funny thing. Is his brother a golfer? I don't know, but there's some link there somewhere along the line. But the total spent 3.1 million extra, like net spend is 3.1 million. So that was nothing. I used to talk about 800 grand, didn't I? A couple of years before, 900 grand, 800 grand. So those are the main West Ham transfers, to be fair. Yeah. So like Harry, already there's 10 coming in, 10 going out.
He's already got the revolving door going.
I'd love to see the following season. Yeah, it's going to be even worse, I think. Yeah.
Oh dear. Good. Thank you very much for that, Jazz. Do appreciate that. And you guys getting involved in the live chat. Keep it going. Your selection number 1 of your 3, please.
Oh, I lost you. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
You back?
Milesy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you now. You're back.
Okay. I was saying, walk me through memory lane. Choice number 1 of your 3.
Who, me or Jazz?
You, Jazz. Andy, sorry.
My first game is the West Ham Leicester on Bonfire Night on the 5th of November. As you know, Jazz, you like me to do a bit of weather as well, and it was a shit day, proper shit day, pissing down on a nice wet pitch. Which
I had one of those last time, didn't I? The Southampton game. Yeah. Oh, we haven't talked about the price of the program, Milesy. It's £1.50, my son. Same minute, same.
£1.50.
He hasn't gone up. I think they heard you. Hasn't gone up.
I won't be good as a trader, would I?
Well, with Sky Money coming in, they go, who cares about 150, 160? Who cares?
Yeah. But the reason why I picked this game is it will explain more because it's only a 1-0 game, and everyone's probably thinking, why the hell you pick this game? But as I go on, you'll realise. But in the first half, this was Mr. Dix. Mr. Dix was involved. He picked the ball up in his own half, started running with the ball, and plays a nice ball into Moncur. Plays a little touch into Hutchinson, and Hutchinson releases a shot from about 25 yards and released a good save there from the goalkeeper, who was Gavin Ward, was the goalkeeper. I don't know why that name rings a bell, but I'm not too sure. But I've heard that name.
Gavin Ward. I'm not sure. Gatesy might know. Gavin Ward.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know whether it's just the last name Ward, where we've got know a few, but I know it was mentioned in the comments, but a Whitbread was involved in a chance. He picked up the ball in the right back position, and he actually played a really good pass. He just whipped it around, managed to whip it around the defenders, and the ball went into the box. And the magic man, the Scot, Don Hutchison, played a good ball back to Morley. I really don't know how he missed this chance. Literally, it was about 8 yards out, and he just hit it straight over.
Yeah,
and,
it looks like this is Whitbread's second game, having been sub since the start of the season. That's interesting. This is second game, Whitbread.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a start. Yeah. Because the Leicester game's in November, isn't it? Yeah, November the 5th, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the reason why I picked this game as 1-0 was Don Hutchison picked up 2 yellow cards in 4 minutes in the first half. So
we're saying, go on, son. Go on.
Yeah. Harry's like that doing his nut, and all the West Ham fans are probably fucking going,
yeah, go on.
And I've got to admit, both of the challenges were yellow cards. He didn't really have anything. And the thing is, like back in the day, is red cards, they're just like, oh, fuck it, I've done it, I'm off. Like, there's no arguing.
Do you know something's happened? I don't know if Gatesy's listening, but in one of the programs, there's a big article on changes to the law of football. So this could be going back to Amazi saying that going to the previous season, people have been like headbutting each other, taking nothing. No one said anything unless you punch someone. And now they're getting a little bit like European, aren't they? A bit little fussy. And it's interesting how we're picking these things up now, isn't it? Sort of year by year, really. So one of the programs I looked on, there's a big article on back pass rule, or you can't do this. Oh, and you can't back chat to the ref anymore. You'll get. So it's all coming in now, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good point there, Marzi. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So as you're thinking, like, what down to 10 men against a Leicester side who they're not. I mentioned a couple of players. Gates will probably get the squad up in a sec after I've finished that. But there was a couple of players who I realised in particular. Hang on, let me just see so I can see it bigger. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Is Simon Grayson was the one who I recognised the most. Obviously, from his
Leeds manager.
Yeah, that's the one what stuck to mind. And I don't know where I needed your help on this, but Draper, where does that name come
Draper.
It's from Notts County.
Leeds. Not Leeds.
Notts
Aston
County.
Villa.
Notts County.
Aston Villa. Yeah, that's the one.
Aston Villa.
We should have signed him, like I said, didn't it? We should have got him. Did he have a good game, Monzi? Draper, I like him.
Yeah, no, he's a bit of a nutter, really.
Little fella, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the thing is, like what you were saying, gents, is on this. Look at Leicester's team. Look at all English and Welsh. And I know West Ham's team sort of the same apart from Ludo. And this is when you see like the likes of like Cantona and stuff like that. And this is just it's still refreshing to see that it was still a British side. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very hard to.
It probably changed after Wenger comes, but we'll tackle that in the preceding seasons. But probably Wenger changed a lot of that. Yeah.
And then in the 77th minute, Will ruled it a penalty. Great ball from Rush into Bishop, and then he passes it into Morley. Morley flicks it to Moncur, and he just literally gets flipping taken out big time. Big time, and the ref just pointed to the spot. And do you know, like, what makes you laugh is when the defender just goes, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not even gonna repeat."
I got a game where someone gets taken twice in 10 seconds before penalty. I'll touch on that later on. Yeah. You get away with one, and then the other guy takes the other one out.
That was what it was like in the old days, wasn't it? The ref would let you get away with one, and then he might get the yellow card out. But now you got to just breathe and get sent off.
So the reason why I picked this as well is because I fucking love the man. I play that position as well when I play 11 aside. Was Mr. Dick stepped up on?
You left-footed, Miles? You probably touched for I was right back. And I hated playing there. I hate playing there.
Yeah, no, I was a left back.
That's a hard fullback's a hard position, mate. No, oh my god!
The thing was, like, when I was at school, like, I wasn't the best. We had literally this bloke. He literally had a wand of a left foot, and he was left back. But the manager used to bring me on. Say, for example, if we're winning a couple goals, I wanted to tighten the game out. And then when we had a game against a rival, I done a proper Dick's tackle. I proper took some. The winger was giving me some shit, and I done a proper tackle. I was on the pitch for about 6 minutes, and then I got sent off. So that was shit. Yeah, but we still won. Doesn't matter. Still won.
Did you get a fine?
No, it was school, so probably a detention I got.
Dear.
But yeah, Mr. Dix stepped up. His usual run up. You don't realise how long his run up actually fucking was, do you? When you keep watching them back, literally
almost
straight down the middle. And it was his first goal back since his return, so you can imagine what his celebration was like. Literally run straight into the crowd, and we went on to win the game 1-0. And I thought, especially with the season, the results wasn't that great before then. This was obviously a good 3 points to have, and like what everyone was mentioning, four teams were getting relegated this season, so we really had to put our ass into gear. Literally,
I'm Mark just gonna pull Luke up on this one. Are you sure you didn't mean you was on trial in Southampton?
Yeah.
I don't know whether he might have worded that wrongly. I'm not sure. But thanks, Milesy. That was a nice little stroll down memory lane for the the Leicester game. Over to you, Jazz. So, your choice number one of your 3 matches, sir. What have you got for me?
Yeah, just want to mention something quickly before I start. Like, you know what my habit is.
Of course.
The crowds look really poor, mate. Like the game Milesy covered, 18,000. Capacity's around 30, I think. So yeah, not very good. Is that half empty bloody
they were
ground?
building the centenary stand at this point, weren't
the,
they?
the centenary stand was being built in that game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I thought we were always loyal. I was pretty surprised. My first game, sir, is one of my favourite times of the year, 31st of December, 1994. And it's a Saturday as well. So as kids or students, we probably had the whole bloody month off. But anyway, attendance, 20,000. So 2,000 extra have come in. It's West Ham United versus Nottingham Forest. And
It is indeed.
so we mustn't forget that the previous season we ended in a very respectable mid-table position, which is very, very good for West Ham. So no drama or anything like that. And like Marzi was kind of touching a little bit on, is this season looks to be struggling till we get to the last third of the season, and then we're okay, I think. So this game is kind of in the middle of the season.
That Nottingham Forest team, sorry, Jazz, that's ridiculous.
I mean, if we look at the league table, where we're actually we're not too bad coming into this. Where the problem is there's around about, oh my God, there's around 8-9 clubs who are within 4 points of each other from the mid-table to the bottom. And we're just below Arsenal, Chelsea, mate. So everyone is struggling. You got big names like Everton, Man City below us. So we're not certainly anywhere near. Gatesy, you might remember, in this league table, their relegation line is covering for 4 clubs, not
that's
3.
Right. Yeah, that's right, because they went from 22 to 20 teams.
See, we're good detectives, aren't we, when we get together?
They relegated 4 and they promoted 2.
Excellent, Colombo. Brilliant.
Was there no playoffs that year, or was it just one automatic, do you know, for the league below?
Say again.
Was it one automatic and the rest playoffs then, was it, for that season to get up the following season? You remember? We'll find out next year. But
maybe only 1 or 2 came up instead of the 3. I don't know. I have to look into that. Not sure. But yeah. So that's the game, and you got players on. Obviously, let me get the team sheet and the program up for everyone. So the program, that's the program, and on the front of it, it's a West Ham player, Stuart Slater, playing for Ipswich.
Well, I don't. We have to put that comment back up.
Yeah, Stuart Slater's playing for them. And Miles, you saying the Forest team looked pretty strong the way you're going through it, yeah?
Yeah. No, I like. The one player in particular who I thought went under the radar, I sort of saw him at the latter part of the year, was Steve Stone. I always liked him.
Yeah, he's a good player. He was.
Yeah.
This could be the season where they finish second or third, because I remember Brian Roy, when he got together with Collymore, like Gatesy, they smashed it, didn't they? Them two together. Coffey was probably, I'm not sure who the manager is with Forest. Was Coffey gone by then, or was he still hanging
No,
around?
I think, wasn't it Frank Clark, I think?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
You're right.
I can soon tell you.
Used to call him the snake because of his slurping speech. It's Frank
I'm
Clark.
sure it was Frank Clark. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
cool.
So they got players like Crossley, Little, Pearce, Cooper, Lars Bohinen, Collymore, Steve Stone, Wone, Haaland, Brian Roy. Bloody hell, that's a good team, mate.
He was rapid, wasn't he?
Our team is pretty stable at the back. McCloskey, Breaker, Martin, Potts, Dix, and then you got Bishop, Matthew Rushes are starting to make more appearances. Up front, we're playing Cotty and Bora. We spoke a lot about Bora last week. And Matty Holmes, and the one person who I did kind of know, but I didn't know it was going to be this season. And in terms of, I have to give respect to Harry Redknapp, and this player is going to be crucial in all the 3 games I'm going to cover. And his name is Michael Hughes.
Oh, he was cracking.
Michael Hughes absolutely smashes this season. Absolutely brilliant. And I think Mars will like him because he's predominantly left-footed.
Yeah.
But I see him on the right side, so I don't know what he's doing, or whatever he's doing, he doesn't care what side he's playing. I think he's floating around doing his own little thing. But So that's the team. And
sorry, Jazz. Do you know the thing? What highlighted for me is
go ahead.
the certain cent defender next above Stuart Pearce.
There's little.
No. One in between.
Colin Cooper, Steve Chettle, or
No.
What, Alfinger Haaland?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's a centre mid, wasn't he?
Father
Defensive.
of Erland
Yeah.
Haaland.
Yeah, Roy Keane's the best man at the wedding. Yep.
Yeah, obviously because of his son. Obviously because of his son. That's the only reason he I remember him as well when he was at Leeds. Obviously that was the latter part of the year. But yeah, I remember.
Gatesy, that's making us look old now, isn't it? Oh my God, we're getting their sons. We know their sons now. We're talking about their dads playing. Oh my God. But Nottingham Forest, the thing is, this is a Christmas period, and we all know as West Ham fans, as far as my knowledge goes back, we're not a very good team around Christmas. We really struggle. There's only a few seasons where we've done well. And good news in this one, we win this game. It's the first win of the Christmas fixtures. And the first action and all the action in terms of West Ham is all in the first half. So all my games always look after everyone. You know, a lot of goals, and always tell you if you want to have a bit of a drink or eat, we'll win the game at halftime. Everyone relax themselves, really. So 25 minutes gone. 25 minutes gone, and that's enough time for even Jazz to sit down in his seat. You know what? I'll just go wandering around stadiums talking to people. So I've sat down now. And Michael Hughes runs down the wing, left foot cross. It's cleared out. Matty Holmes, who we touched upon last season, getting really important in the team. He miskicks a pass. It breaks to Bora in the air, and he kind of does a clumsy back header, and he finds TC, and he does a karate kick into the bottom right-hand corner. So going back to two things I love, two people up front, little man, big man, and the little man gets whatever way he needs to just get the ball in the net, which I go back to, which I hate about the modern football where you're playing wingers up front, playing one person up front who can't finish. TC's a predator, then a big man helps it on in any way he can. It's not very clever, artistic back, like whatever head he can get to it. TC sniffing around. I love those kind of players. The kind of, I think Danny Ings is the only one we got, and Defoe in the past, and people like that. And TC kind of does a karate kick. He had to do karate kick because defenders are coming at him from both angles. So if he doesn't get that shot quick in there, he's gonna be be tackled. So that's the first goal. And what the commentator mentions is this is TC's 5th goal in 4 games. So he's in red hot form. Yeah. And he's really happy. And I mean, you know TC. He doesn't care about the game or how he just wants goals and then he's happy. McAvenny used to mention we'd win 4-0. He hasn't scored. He's sitting there sulking. But Miles, like you mentioned, you like that in a striker, and he's happy. He's happy with that.
Yeah, talking about little and big partnership, the last real one we probably had was bloody Carlton Cole and Dean McCaley or Bellamy, really, isn't it? Like when you think about it, for like West Ham, like 4 foot, like for a consistent amount of games.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just like Alex Ferguson. I'm just keep it simple, and I think 4-4-2. It works for 100%. Me, mate. It works for me. And otherwise, this is why we're seeing so many chances go begging, and that's why someone will run, like Lingard will run down the wing, and there's no one in the area. How infuriating! No one in the area is one of the things that really gets me going. I just can't stand it. Yeah. You know,
striker's instinct.
It's because you're being weak, and then you're bunching your players in the middle so the opposition don't get through. But you're not thinking about the other side of the game. So it's like a cops and robbers robbery. Then when you score, it's like a breaking on the kind of attack, it's that kind of thing. But I don't like it. But it's kind of thing people grow on. It's just that me and Gatesy know the 4-4-2, and the modern fans don't. So perhaps they don't quite see it. But another thing is, I hope I wasn't celebrating too long, everyone, because only 2 minutes later, something happens in the 27th minute. It's Hughes again. So Michael Hughes takes a corner, because he used to take a lot of the set pieces back then because he has such a crisp and accurate left foot. He takes the corner. It finds our old favourite Alvin Martin, which I'm still surprised is still hanging around. He finds Alvin Martin on the edge of the area, who heads it to Bishop, and Bishop simply volleys it home. So bit of bad marking by Forest, and after 27 minutes, we find ourselves 2-0 up. Against the team, as far as I know, up to this point, we used to find it difficult. Forest a very good, well-organised team. hard to turn them over. And I don't think too many teams are 2-0 up after 27 minutes, really. And then something happens on 45 minutes before half time. So all those people who leave early for their pints, they're going to get punished and miss it. So Steve Chettle, who's one of the names and defenders on the kind of team sheet, he loses the ball on the halfway line. And Michael Hughes, it's incredible, isn't it? So Michael Hughes picks up the ball. He runs and carries the ball into the penalty area. And forget about setting anyone up. He finishes in the bottom left, mate, and he's like, job done. It's the Michael Hughes game. 3-0, mate. 3-0. Job done. Everyone enjoys it. He's telling everyone, just go home if you want. You've got some shopping to do with the wife. Go home early. I've set
not like this season with a 3-goal lead.
I mean, if he's in anyone's fantasy football team, he's going to get a lot of points. You know, he's set 1 or 2 goals up. He's finished one himself.
Yeah.
And he's probably telling Harry, there you go, son. So that was half time. Second half, not many goals. It was kind of not much happening until the 90th minute where Nottingham Forest got a consolation. A young chap called Paul McGregor, doesn't ring a bell with me. He hits a hopeful shot well outside the box and he picks up a deflection and ends up past McCluskey and it's 3-1. So, yeah, 4 goals, good victory. Love the Christmas period, you know, a home game. And that's something we miss in the OS, isn't it?
Boxing Day, London Derby, innit?
Gatesy will know I am very traditional and I will stick to my guns. I would love West Ham Tottenham on Boxing Day at home. I would love that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Always
That'd
used
be
to be that game. And what do we end up with? Away to Brighton. Wow. That's a local team, isn't it? But anyway.
The same thing, is it? Not quite the same.
Actually, we were at home this year, weren't we? Because no one was fucking there.
Mm.
We was home this year on Boxing Day because no one was fucking there.
I know, yeah, ridiculous.
But that's the program, and I was mentioning got Stuart
yes.
on the Ipswich Ipswich colours. Yeah,
that's the one. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
an
overlay.
Dagenham Motors, love it.
Dagenham Motors, and I forgot to put your one up. Do forgive me, Milesy. Yeah, I like that one. That was I forgot to put your one up, so I do apologise. That was the one for your Leicester game, mate.
I wonder what he's shouting behind him.
I'll tell you what.
Would that have been the 4-1 game? I'm not sure. No, it wouldn't have been. No.
Just one more point. I don't know if anyone knows in the modern game. Really good information in terms of fixtures and travel club information. If you remember, Gatesy and Mark, they used to mention how to get there in terms of motorway direction. I know we don't need it anymore, but you know what's the best pub to perhaps drink in and how to book. It's really interesting information if you go away a lot. So I don't know if that's still in the programs or it's.
To be honest, I don't really get the programs myself. My kids tend to get it, but
you're not missing much. I just get it for
the programs they're too big now to get in your fucking pocket. They're like an A to Z.
Too bloody expensive.
You get a page.
Yeah.
Bastards.
But that's so that was
$5 now or something. You don't get much change out of a $5 now, do you? For a program, it's ridiculous. But
you don't when you give the kids a $5 and they don't come back with anything.
No, they don't.
No, they're all right. I'm joking. Yeah, but
cheers for that, Jazz. That was an excellent choice. So
don't forget, Forest were 5th position then. So that 3-1 win.
Well, they finished 3rd.
So this is a great. That's what I'm saying. We're 5th from bottom, playing 5th from top. We 27 minutes, mate. Get out of here.
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time.
Well, I'll tell you what. Before we do that, I'm just gonna get the match card, if I may. So just bear with me because I've just got to press some buttons and here it is. Right. Okay. So no, that's not the button I wanted to press, is it? Okay. So there we go, and I'll go full screen so that you, good ladies and gentlemen, watching it live or subsequently can have a butcher's. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my
ladies
match
and gentlemen
one.
and those in between. Yep, lovely.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. No. This is the match at Stamford Bridge, which took place, if I just scroll back out because it's got the date on it, on the 2nd of October 1994 at Stamford Bridge. Look at that, 18,696, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that including the dogs?
It probably is. It probably is.
And
They
the
probably
car-
had to include
well,
that just to bump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So look at Chelsea. I mean, you know, they had Dmitry Karin, who was the Russian #1 goalkeeper at the time, between the sticks. Steve Clark, who obviously would later go on to be our assistant manager. Erland Johnson, Jakob Kjeldberg, Frank Sinclair. You may have heard of him. Anthony
goal
Barnes.
specialist.
Yeah.
Anthony Barnes. I think he used to be at Charlton before he went to
Nothing
Chelsea, if I
special, yeah,
remember
Gatesy.
correctly.
Nothing special,
Yeah,
nothing
nothing wonderful.
yeah.
Except
Eddie
for the
Newton,
wanker,
Gavin-
except for the wanker on the subs bench. Don't like him.
Who's that? I can't see him. My phone. Who's that?
Shipley.
Shipley, yeah.
Oh, my local.
He's
fat
actually
boy.
involved
Yeah.
in Chelsea's goal. But there you got Gavin Peacock, and
He
he's
scored in the
obviously the
playoff.
son of
Yeah,
Keith
yeah.
Peacock. The late David Rocastle, and obviously he was gone at the age of 33, ladies and gentlemen, with a rare form of cancer. God rest his soul. Paul Furlong, and he was the guy that scored the goal against us.
Yeah,
and John Spencer, who would later become very well acquainted with Julian Dixie's boot, if you remember correctly.
Well, I think he became a Sikh. That turban he put on in that game.
Didn't David Miller? He was jumping up and down at the time, saying that Julian Dix ought to be banned, tongue drawn and all the rest of it. He was going absolutely.
Well,
over
some
the
of the
top.
things he got up to, you better shut up. I remember him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, he's got no room to talk. He cannot take the moral high ground, that geezer. But there you go. And then you look at our lineup, and it was McCloskey between the sticks. The back four was Potts, Breaker, Martin, and Rowland. You then had a midfield of Allen, Hutchison, Marsh, Moncur, and Rush. And ploughing a lone furrow up front on his own was the legendary Lee Chapman, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Milesy, you were going to say something.
Yeah, it was the cards, Gatesy. There's a lot of cards in this game, isn't there?
Yes, I'll just sort of back out of that so we can see it in all its glory, because there was 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow cards for Chelsea, 3 yellow cards for us, and a red card for Chelsea, which you'll see in the footage.
And the league standing,
Derby.
league standings throughout the season, Marzi, Gatesy, we're neck and neck. So they're not. So people shouldn't forget. This is not the Chelsea we know now. We are neck and neck in the league.
Yeah.
With Arsenal as well, neck and neck, all three of us. Yeah,
but they would go on to win the not win the FA Cup. They contested the FA Cup, didn't they? And they actually got into the Cup Winners' Cup because Manchester United were already in the UEFA Cup or something. I can't remember now. Ooh, was it the FA Cup? No, they were in the FA Cup the season before. Sorry, I'm getting my seasons mixed up. I do apologise. They were in the Cup this season, weren't they, Chelsea?
I'll tell you what, the top London team that season finished 7th, Spuds, and below them 8th and 9th is QPR and Wimbledon. Look how things have changed. And Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, I can't admit a little bit below them because QPR had such a strong. Because I'm from West London and I remember my mates. Yeah, I used to love their players, Les Ferdinand and Sinclair John, and later on Ray Wilkins was a couple of years. They even had Trevor. That's like a lot of players. I don't know what they were paying them, mate. But there you go.
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the
Peter Brackley
commentary. The Poundland Peter Brackley. That'll do. The Aldi Martin Tyler, the quick save Clive Tildesley, whoever. So this is the alternative commentary that I've knocked up, ladies and gentlemen, of Chelsea 1, West Ham 2 from the 94-95 season. Enjoy. So, corner to West Ham. On their right-hand side, John Moncur to take the ball, take the corner. Takes it with the left foot. Flicked on. Martin Allen with the header, and that's 1-0 West Ham! Against the run of play, Martin Allen with the goal sends the West Ham fans into absolute pandemonium. Here's the ball again. It's flicked on. And Martin Allen picks up the pieces with the diving header. Ball played forward now to Matthew Rush, marauding down the West Ham right. He looks up, plays the ball in, but that's easy pickings for Dmitry Karin. Goalkeeper sets the ball going out on the counter-attack for Chelsea to try and catch West Ham. Peacock on the Chelsea left-hand side plays it in. John Spencer plays it in towards Neil Shipley. McCloskey misses it, and that's a goal for Chelsea. That's the equaliser for Paul Furlong. There's a beautiful ball played in by John Spencer. Neil Shipley couldn't get hold of it, but neither did Ludek Miklosko, and Paul Furlong was there to pick up the pieces. It was a lovely floated ball in. It caused all sorts of confusion there in the West Ham defence. And Paul Furlong equalises. Here comes Chelsea again. And Karine has put the ball out of play down the Chelsea right-hand side. Throw into West Ham United. And the ball breaks. John Moncur in the box. Left foot strike, deflection, and it's in! 2-1 to West Ham United. And that has sent the West Ham fans there in the stands at Stamford Bridge into absolute delirium. They've taken the lead. They've been pegged back. And now, once again, they find themselves 2-1 up here at Stamford Bridge. A fantastic effort by John Moncur, helped with the deflection, and Dimitri Karine was completely helpless to make it Chelsea 1, West Ham United 2. I'm just seeing some of the comments that are coming through on the chat. West Ham Online, I think he enjoyed it, but he makes a good point. That was poor goalkeeping from Ludo there. There's no excuse
I told
for
you,
that.
Ludo's dodgy, mate, in the top division.
He had an error in him, but I loved him, to be honest. I thought he
I
was
mean,
just a
one of the
character,
games I'm
you
going
know
to
what I mean?
commentate on, world-class performance. Yeah, Ludo's a nice chap.
But
Martin
Mr.
Tyler.
Burford's in. How you doing? We'll forgive you for being late. Don't worry about it.
He's always late, isn't he? He's always. I just remember now. You gave him a ticking off last week. Gave him a yellow card, and then I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Nick
Gatesy,
Leeson,
you know what
do you
I
remember
loved?
him?
Who?
Nick Leeson.
know,
You wouldn't remember him, but Jazz might. Do you remember him? Bearings Bank.
Yeah,
collapse.
I work in banking. I think he's from Watford originally, based in Singapore. Yeah. He was in Singapore. He did that with a bank
the
that's
UK's
no longer
oldest
around.
merchant bank.
There's a film on him. He's made money from books. They gave him so much power. He was trading like a FX, whatever FX dealing is like bookies. It's the same bloody thing, just glorified like it's an occupation. The banks, they get up to all kinds of stupid things. To be fair, but there you go. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I love the celebration though for the second goal with the fans running on the pitch. That's what you love.
The advertising hoarding that collapsed. And they all sort of piled in.
I tell you what, Milesy, you watched the 85.
Couldn't get away with it now.
West Ham fans, we take the piss. We don't give a shit where we are. Chelsea, if you see that 4-0 85-86 famous game, when we score, our fans are all around four sides of the ground. It's hilarious. They're planted everywhere and they don't give a crap. So when we score, they're just like they're giving it on there. They're fucking sitting in the Chelsea stands. They're everywhere, all around the stands. And Chelsea's ground looks so awful. It looks like a car park, doesn't it? Oh my god.
Tom, you better not be late for when you're actually doing your stream.
Yeah, definitely. I remember sort of like before they reconfigured it, I've got this vague recollection of the goal and there being sort of like this big gap between the back where the back of the goal was and the stand behind it, and there being a couple of cars parked there. I'm like,
I reckon it used to be a dog
that?
track, or I reckon it used to be a greyhound or dog track or something. It just looks like the old.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do more history going forward, but I wanted to know more about the Shepherd's Bush Stadium. That's I love Steptoe Son, by the way, Gatesy, but that's a different story. It's mentioned in there. The World Cup, they used that ground in Shepherd's Bush, White City. It was used in the 1966. Really? Yeah, it was used in one of the games in the 1960 World Cup, very close to the BBC studios. And I don't know why QPR didn't ever moved in. And then they just, I don't know, they sold it or knocked it down in the mid late 70s, mate. But before we were like born, it was a big thing around, then greyhounds, I don't know. I think the Wimbledon dog track, has that been knocked down now? I don't know. There's all kinds of news about that.
Don't know. We've got one near us in Crayford. There's Crayford Dogs. And we've been there.
Here we go. That can be the night out as well. Duke's Pub and the Dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I went with a company once, and Because I'm not really into horses, but when you go out, it's such a laugh. You put a couple of quid on, and then it gets a bit competitive, and then it's a laugh, and it's a nice day out. Yes, it's a good idea, mate.
I'm not particularly into horse racing, but I've been to Ascot once, and
I got Ascot,
good day
I got
out.
Ascot, I got Ascot 10 minutes away, Windsor. We've been to Epsom. Epsom's a good one. There's another one. I forgot the name of it, but
Malsey, you're going to have to remind me. What season has Mr. Burford got?
Next week, isn't it?
Is it next week?
What's that?
96, 97 he's got. Sorry.
Oh, so it's the
Not
following week.
Oh, he ain't going to come late again, is he?
I've already told him.
He's just confirmed it.
Yeah.
Because next week I know we've got Steve next week.
Surprise! You told me up for it, mate. Oh, cheers, mate. You turn. It's highly pressurized, this job. I'm telling you. The seats are hot. It's under pressure. So hopefully you're up for it. I just scared him off now. There you go.
Yeah. we might have to do it on a Saturday night, because if Tom's on as well, it might go for 6 hours instead of 3.
Everyone bring their blankets and pillows and everything.
That's all right. No one will mind.
So when we do it, we're lying on the pillow, like ready.
So,
Jazz. So match number 2 for you, sir.
It's me.
Hey.
It's me.
Sorry. You look so alike. I do apologise. It's like you were separated at birth.
Oh, I can tell.
Milesy.
So, my second game is West Ham United versus Blackburn Rovers on the 30th of April.
Who are the Man City of their time, aren't they, Marzi? They are the Man City of this season at that time. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, exactly. This is the main reason why
they lifted the Premier League, didn't they, this season?
Yeah, the main reason why I picked this game as well was you can tell it was a big game because this was live on Sky, because the commentators were Andy Gray and Martin Tyler for this game.
Gatesy, Martin Tyler isn't really your favourite, is he? Come on, don't say that. We're from the Brian Moore, Barry Davis, and that kind of era, aren't we? Come on, we are.
Do you know what I got to say? I love Brian Moore. Yes.
Barry Davis,
John Motson as well.
John Motson,
the old
brilliant
sheepskin. Yeah. The old sheepskin.
All of them. The tennis, the cricket. We've lost all those people. Formula One. Yeah.
Great
era.
Now they're all. They're all sort of like.
Now we got Carragher now. Brilliant. Yep.
Yeah. Just looking here, Milesy, for the game that you've selected, there's a little note at the top, and I don't know if anyone can read it, but I'll just read it out to you. That this was Simon Webster made his debut after moving from Charlton Athletic in June 1993. This match was in April of 1995.
Yeah.
So nearly 2 years later, because of course he broke his leg, didn't he?
And he didn't shake up. He didn't do anything special, far as I know, mate. Yeah, he just expected.
Well, I mean, I think to be fair, his leg. Well, here's the thing. I think don't think a lot of people know, because I think it's fairly well established that it was a training ground accident that happened with Julian Dix. But what a lot of people don't realise is that Simon Webster had actually broken that leg earlier in his career, so that it was a fundamental weakness that he had there in the first place. So it was not maybe entirely Julian Dix's fault. It also goes on to say here that Matthew Rush also made his final appearance before he moved to Norwich City in August. You also got a attendance of 24,202. So that is the match card, Milesy. Do you want to walk us through that one, mate?
Yeah, so we've got Ludo in goal. In the defence, we've got Steve Potts, Tim Breaker, Julian Dix, Mark Reaper, and in midfield, Martin Allen, Ian Bishop, Matty Holmes, Don Hutchinson, John Moncur, and the beast up front. And for Blackburn, this Blackburn side is ridiculous. I'm sorry. You can tell why it won. Flowers in goal. Berg, Kenner, Henry, Sutton. I don't know why he's there. Defender / forward.
Well, he started as a defender.
Oh, yeah. Gatesy knows. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Fair enough.
Yeah, he started actually. People like that.
And obviously Graham Nassau, David Batty, Stuart Ripley, Tim Sherwood.
Well,
How the hell do you say that one?
Richard Vitschka. Now, I forgot that he
I
played
forgot
for
about him.
Blackburn. Dutchman.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
'Cause
Championship manager. He's on championship manager.
Didn't he have a
I think.
twin brother called Rob Vitschka, or Robert and Richard Vitschka, if I remember correctly?
I don't know.
I don't know, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And obviously the other forward, he didn't really score many goals, and he was just I think he was just a name on
he
the
was
team
a
sheet.
donkey, wasn't he?
Yeah, Alan Shearer, just him.
Absolute.
I thought you were going to say
Shithouse,
Newell, Mike Newell. I thought you were going to say Mike Newell without looking at the team sheet because he had an atrocious time with us. But that's another story. But
Oh yeah.
I
That was
just
at the back end of
realised.
his career, though, wasn't
another
it?
thing, Miles, you're looking at that great Blackburn team. You can tell what a great youth system they had. Look at them all born down the road and come through the youth team.
But no,
yeah.
as you can tell, that team's class, and
That team is like championship manager, isn't it? If you play championship manager, this is what Jack Walker was doing, isn't it? Like, come on, who are we going to buy? And just do whatever you want, mate. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no, definitely. But so that, as you said, that was a good side, and I won't tell you what. Obviously, you can see the score now that we went on to win the game 2-0, and this was very significant for us because this. After 38 games, we moved up to 16th in the table, 3 points away from relegation, and with a game in hand on a lot of the teams apart from Palace. So this game was very important. So that was the main reason why I selected it as well.
This is our 7th unbeaten game as well. 7th unbeaten, including Blackburn. Yeah, 7th.
Oh, wow,
unbeaten.
okay.
Our run at the end, looking at even the tough games like you're covering, I'll cover later, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The recovery at the end. I mean, hats off to Harry at the end. I'll take the mick out of him, but I've got to say it. He's a special manager, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, of our last 13 matches, we only lost 2.
But
wow.
bloody hell, mate.
It's like the Great Escape all over again, isn't it? 2000.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, we started off well. In this, the highlights on this, you can tell the first half must have been really scrappy because the highlights just start straight in the second half. So I got a bit confused to start off with. I was like, okay, but some of the highlights are like that, aren't they? So, but we started off well. Bishop broke up play and then released the ball out wide to Tim Breaker, who was running down the right. The one thing what I've got to say is I didn't realise until watching these reviews just how good at crossing Tim Breaker actually was, and obviously striking the football. I didn't really realise until.
You know the funny thing with him is, Miles, he was on a podcast and they said, Tim, when you used to cross it, why did you always fall? And he started laughing. So every time he crossed it, he falls on the floor.
He did on this one.
That's what I'm saying. Someone picked up on it and then he goes, I don't know, mate. But Gatesy, you know that. He always
Bad balance. Bad balance. What can you do?
But yeah, so he broke on the right hand side and done a teasing ball to the back post, and all Tim Flowers could do was knock it out from a corner. From the corner, this is where the first goal come from. John Moncur with the corner whips the ball in right on the money, 6-7 yards out. Bullet header past Tim Flowers. He had no chance, and very pleased for him. Like you said, Mark Repo. He was
class player, mate.
Yeah.
He was so close to getting to my Hammers 11 with Russ. That's how highly I rate him.
Oh, really?
Went to Celtic, I think. Yeah, I thought Reaper. Yeah, obviously another special guy will join the following year, and I think Reaper's top notch. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we? So the second goal come from Don Hutchinson, but we actually had the ball literally in our own penalty box, and it was Alan who picked the ball up, tried to do a couple of step overs. He lost the ball, and then Breaker looked up, played the ball forward, held the ball down to Rush, who then takes the extra touch to take it past. He was scary looking, Colin Henry. He looked like he was going to take him out. That touch.
Oh, bloody hell. Sorry about that, mate.
That's all right. And so like I said, he managed to get the touch, and then we were away. Literally, I didn't realise how quick Rush actually was until this goal, really, when you just see him just electrifying, running through.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, good player.
And then Rush got his head up, great ball back to Moncur, who strikes the ball very low and hard. Looked like it was going straight in the bottom left-hand corner. Tim Flowers with a great save. Don Hutchinson there with the rebound, runs and celebrates with his teammates. And then, like you said, this is a go on to win 2-0. And like I mentioned at the start, gets us 3 points up in the table, and we made safety look more and more likely. So that was the reason why I picked this game.
And going back to the crowd, Marzi, I think obviously I've got a program. Obviously, doesn't include the last game of the season at home, but this is going to be the first or the second highest attendance of the season. So, like you mentioned, 24,000. We're looking at average of 18, 19. So certainly, people knew that this is going to be a big game. And looking at the fixtures, like you said, they're hard fixtures. Like you said, Blackburn was the 4th game from the end of the season. You've got Liverpool, Man U in your last 2 at the end. You've got Wimbledon, which was, like I said, good team, Forest. So, amazing results at the end, mate. So, Harry's effect is happening. It's happening, mate. It's happening. Harry.
and like you said,
and dealing starting to have an impact.
And it's just very nice.
No fucking wheeling dealer. What Gatesy? What you say?
But no, gents, like what you said, it's nice to actually be on a Sky game without just being Man United back in the day.
No, I like.
Do you know what I mean?
I like Man United, West Ham.
No. But what I mean is normally West Ham are only on twice a year, and it was normally a Man United game, wasn't it?
Bang on, mate. Once.
And of course, this was the Blackburn Rovers team that were a month away or so from actually lifting the Premier League title, and we turned them over. So no mean achievement, I think it's fair to say.
And Gatesy, your game from last week, we turned them over then as well at their ground, didn't we? With
yes, we did.
Marshy, and so all these big teams, they don't like us.
So talking about Blackburn, the memory for me was, I think it was 97-98 when we beat them on penalties in the FA Cup. That's my memory of Blackburn. When Roy Hodgson was manager. Do you remember that one?
Was that at Ewood Park or was that at Upton Park?
No, at Ewood Park. Lomas scored the winning penalty, and he done his usual celebration. Didn't know what he was doing.
Oh,
I
guess who their manager was? Roy Hodgson. That game. This was a huge game. It's a good point, Marzi, and we'll cover it in the couple of.
Definitely, that's going to be one of my games that season. Definitely.
And the way that cup run ended. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. All the memories come back with that now. Bang on, mate. Bang on.
Yeah, Tom's just said it. Lomas got the winner. Yes, he did.
Don't spoil it now, Tom. 3 weeks we'll cover it. 3-4 weeks. Be patient.
We got it covered. We got it covered.
Be patient. We got the trademark. We got the royalties. Everything's done, mate. Yeah, we can cover it.
Good choice, Mr. Miles. I'm going to try and find. Did I get a program for you for? Hang on a minute. Where is it? Is it
on the programs back in the day? Did they used to advertise that it was on Sky as well? On the match day programs, or not really? I can't really see.
I think they did. But I don't know if they did it for this season because I haven't. Have I got one? Actually, I have got one else. Hang on, let me just pick up one of them because I'm not going to mention it because of my last game. No, not mentioned on the front cover.
I remember later on they did, didn't they? They used to say
they did. I've seen it. I think the last season's one. It's weird. It's not on this one. It's not on that one. Yeah, it's not on that one. No, not on this one.
So, Jazz, match number 2 of your 3, sir.
Okay, sir. My one is going to be against a team I used to hate playing against for obvious reasons. So it's another home game. It's actually, looking at the list, it's 2 games before the Blackburn game. So it's in that good run at the end. It's in that.
You should have went first then, Jazz. Damn it.
I didn't really think about that. So this game is April the 13th. It's home to Wimbledon. 21,000 crowd. That's not bad. Does anyone know? Because I've never seen a game West Ham Wimbledon. I mean, does Wimbledon used to bring a lot of fans? Does anyone know? Gatesy, do you know?
Not really. They were that was basically why they moved to Milton Keynes because their home support was poor, their away support was even worse.
Well, the area's all tennis, all posh, isn't it? Up there, golf courses and all that. You remember the story about the Wimbledon golf where the members all given we're going to take over, build houses. Each member gets such and such money. So yes, it's not really a footballing area, to be fair. It's not really.
Yeah, not
Um,
really. No.
It's West Ham, Wimbledon, and when you look at the league table, where they're kind of they're about 10th, and oh wow, you're right, Milesy. We're third from bottom in this game. We're third from bottom in the relegation. But the thing, like I checked upon, was we are one of 9-10 clubs where there's only 3-4 points between you. So if you win, you're lower mid, or you could go down. So the bottom two are Leicester, Ipswich, who are more or less down. Yeah, they're relegated. So Leicester and Ipswich are already relegated. John Lye left them. Paul Goddard took on, and then the old right back, Scottish right back, took him over. I've got the name.
Burley.
Yeah, he took him over. But then I'm sure he brought them back in again, and they did really well.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. But yeah, so this is the game. So it's April the 13th, and looking at the program, I just wanted to ask one question before I start: is what does everyone think about that away your third kit?
Hang on, let me put your full screen.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that kit. I don't know what everyone thinks about it. It's quite interesting. I think
do you know what? I didn't mind that
it's
kit.
all right. It's all right.
Didn't mind it. It wasn't one of my favourites, but it was a bit different, wasn't it?
I think my younger brother had it. I think that one's all right. Not too bad. So there we go, gentlemen. So home to Wimbledon, and if you look at the Wimbledon team, looks like people like Fashion who are perhaps injured or not part of it anymore. It's quite a fresh-looking team, apart from the old pain in the backside. Vinnie Jones is still there.
Oh yes.
Good goalkeeper Neil Sullivan, Warren Barton, who made a good career at the end. He's a good fullback. You got Andy Thorne, that a lot of people might know from Crystal Palace time with Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a little bit of an involvement in one of the goals. Dean Holsworth, I had a lot of time for him from Brentford, the two twins.
West Ham fan.
I thought we were going to nail that transfer, and something went wrong. I mean, he wanted to come. It got close, and I think we pulled out for money or some reason. But there you go. Leonardson, Norwegian, I believe. He was quite big back then. Cunningham. He started again as he was. And then we've got, our team settled. Dutchinson, Bora, Michael Hughes, Bishop, Martin Allen, Dix, Potts, Reaper, Breaker. So all good, mate. But so looks like Potts keeps fluctuating between fullback and centre-back, and now he's back in the centre. And next season, I think he'll perhaps go back to fullback again. I don't know. But we've got Reaper in as a commanding centre-back. And I just want to see how much muscle we got in our team, because when he plays Wimbledon, he needs steel. So we've got Martin Allen and Bishop in the middle. And I don't think they'll hide away from anything. And Don Hutchinson, he'll definitely not. Bora, he'll smash people enough. Michael Hughes, Dix. I think we're well prepared, mate. Mark Reaper, wow. You remember the strongman competitions around Christmas and all the Nordic countries. So Reaper, I think we're looking good, mate. And McCloskey's 10 foot. Yeah, we're ready for them, mate. So first bit of action is after 40 minutes. One thing I noticed with Michael Hughes is he's left-footed, but a lot of this game, he's on the right-hand side. He cuts in, but no one can get near him the way he's playing, really.
Yeah,
so
very intelligent player, wasn't he?
So after 40 minutes, Julian Dix, who was involved in a lot of the goals last season, he curls a really good pass to Tony Cottee, and he's fouled by Andy Thorne from behind. Andy Thorne kind of clumps him a little bit from behind. Cottee goes down. It's a blatant penalty. Referee doesn't give it. And this is a funny thing where Michael Hughes enters the penalty area literally probably 7, 8 seconds after Cottee's clumped. And then he gets clumped from behind. I'm not sure what defender it was. And so two people get smashed within 8. So if you got to escape with one of them, you kind of leave the other one alone. Because Michael Hughes is on the edge of the area, Cottee was more central, and a penalty is given, and good old Godfather Vinnie Jones goes running towards the referee. Don't know what he's trying to tell him. I'm going to meet you outside, son. And I don't know if he's captain by this stage. He's giving it the big one. Referee sticks to it, and it's a penalty. And the thing about this penalty is obviously it's Julian Dix is going to take it. But for one of the first times, the goalkeeper Sullivan gets his arm to it, and that's dangerous because I don't know if he wants to. You could snap your arm in half, putting your arm in front of one of those. So he goes to the right-hand side and he gives it a good welly as usual. None of this stupid Bruno tap dancing.
He's never going to do
malarkey.
the Panenka, is he?
I can't stand that, Gatesy. Last night is all going on. It was I thought it's the poorest goalkeeping performance in any penalty shootout from both of them. Apparently, it came to light that the Man United goalkeepers never saved a penalty, hardly going back.
I think they were saying on Talk Sport, of his last 29 penalties faced, including penalty shootouts, he saved none of them. Whereas I think they said Dean Henderson had saved 8 out of 17 or 18 or something like that.
Absolutely right. Me and my son thought the Russia-Spain game was fixed because the way that penalty shootout in the World Cup happened, he didn't move, mate. He's like, Putin made a phone call, like, let us go through. Complete shocking, mate. But yeah, so he takes a penalty, gives it well.
Apparently,
goes outside, right, and Sullivan, it goes off his arm, but then it goes up and it just goes under the bar, So it could have kind of gone over the bar. So he gets his arm to it. I ain't seen many goalkeepers brave touching that bloody ball, and it goes in. Well. So I kind of noticed that it went under the post.
Was this a night game, gents?
No. Actually, hang on a minute.
It was a Thursday game because Mark put it earlier, so it must have been.
Yeah, must have been. I think.
Yeah, it was a Thursday night game.
Kick-off 7:45. Well done, Marzi. Well done. But then in April, I don't know what the days were then. Sometimes the first half's in the more daylight and the second half gets darker. But yeah, 7:45. That's an odd, isn't it? Thursday. Odd. But anyway.
It was because of weekend engineering works on the tube. That were going on ahead of it was the Easter weekend that was upcoming, so they did it on a Thursday because of the work on the tube was going to interfere with it. So,
well, that took us to half time, 1-0. We're all enjoying our pint. What's going to happen? They're going to come back, and actually, the next really serious bit of action doesn't happen until the 76th minute. Martin Allen finds Michael Hughes. And a guy can't do no wrong in this season, I like to see who's Hammer of the Year this season, Gatesy. I don't know if you can look it up.
I've got it all prepared.
Oh, look at you.
Don't worry. We've got it for the end.
So Martin Allen, he finds Michael Hughes. Great bit of skill. He turns the defender inside out, continues his run down the wing, goes into the box, and he kind of passes to Bora, who kind of bundles it in, and even replaying the goal on the numerous occasions, I can't figure out, is it come off his neck, his chest, his head? But Bora's like that, isn't he? If I mentioned that goal in the other game, he kind of just gets anything to it, and it usually goes towards goal, and someone's on the end of it. So again, Bora just scores, but I'm not sure how it's gone in. Has it gone through his chest? I don't know, mate. But it doesn't look like a clean connection. But it's 2-0 after 76 minutes. And then, ladies and gentlemen, literally 60 seconds later. So this is the second game where the first game was 120 seconds. So yeah, don't follow Jazz what he does at matches. Ends up there early, then goes missing or doesn't sit in his seat early. You don't know when these goals are going to happen. So 76 minutes was that one. 3-0 after 1 minute, Gatesy, and 1 minute. And Michael Hughes again. You think I'm making it up? Michael Hughes.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
He finds Tim Breaker on the right-hand side, and Timmy's like, you got a left foot. What are you doing with me, mate? But anyway, he lays it back to Breaker. Breaker lays it back to Cotty, and Cotty's a nice, crisp finish, and it's 3-0, mate. So looks like Cotty's really doing well. Michael Hughes is connecting with everything, and I'm surprised because we mentioned Robson before and Matty Holmes and how they were connecting, and now we just seem to sell quickly and just find the next technical, skillful player for not very much money, but doing really well. And Michael Hughes has gone down. I mean, talking about Northern Ireland, I think Dowie was an Irish player, Roland, him, and we had quite a few. But 3-0 clean sheet, and Wimbledon, physical team, doing well above us in the table. We brushed them aside. Everyone, good win.
Is this the year they got to the cup final?
No. That was 88.
That was 88.
88, yeah, 88.
Oh, they didn't get anywhere near thingy, no?
Don't tempt us, West Ham Online. Don't tempt us. It may well happen. It may well go. And bear in mind, there's only the three of us here tonight. So we'd
It
be
was the
doing
same as
quite
last
well.
week. I saw West Ham Online's
Yeah.
comment said he catched up earlier. Did he not have a break? He didn't have a break when he watched the last week's earlier as well.
No. I'm just trying to find. Have I got? I think I did. Bear with me.
Did
There
they
it
not show
is.
the program?
Well, I
Got it? You
think
got it?
it's
Yeah,
that one.
that's the one. That's the one, mate. That's the one. So it looks
That's
like
the
we
program,
got.
ladies and gentlemen.
So it looks like
Not
at the
bad.
moment, another interesting point, but boring point is we used to get one mascot back in the 80s, but now we're getting three now. So now we get what, 15 at £500 a pop, is it, or a grand? What is it, Marcy, to be a mascot?
What now? 800 quid.
Shall I make you laugh now? I still love to be mascot today if I could.
Yes, so would I. So would I.
Holding
The
his
world's
hand. I don't think
oldest
I'll allow
mascot.
that. I don't want to hold his hand, but I'll be there.
No, I'll do all the thingy, Joe, like what Noble does. I'll go running round to all the and then do a couple of shots at Fabianski, and then go back
Can
to
you
the
imagine?
pub.
Yeah, they should have one. One of the lads' mascots. Yeah, that'd be funny. Gatesy, would you like to be a mascot even now next season? Would you?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
We're still kids.
I'd
We're
be
still
the
kids
oldest
at heart.
mascot going. Stuff
We're
it.
still young.
Yeah,
We're still
exactly.
young at heart, mate. We're still kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have a go. Why not? But yeah, it was a good choice there, Jazz, and
Yeah.
nice to sort of like really put one over properly. The crazy
Nicely.
gang, because they were a pain in the arse team back then, weren't they?
Bloody hell! They used to, Yep, they were. But
Really
do you know something?
physical.
I got a feeling, half the games we didn't do too well. Not too bad against them, funny enough. Even the season we went down, I think we beat them. We didn't see that kind of season. Yeah, so it's nice to hear, because we used to always hear, oh, West Ham get bullied, we're softies, but no, with Martin Allen, it began to change, didn't it? We began a bit more stronger, rocky players, I think, within the team, especially even now. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for that, Jazz. Do appreciate that. So I guess it's my turn now, isn't it?
Is it?
What have I got lined up for you? Well,
sheepskin coat.
Let me find it. Hang on. Where is it? Here it is. This is the program. It's West Ham United against Manchester City, ladies and gentlemen. This was a game that finished West Ham United 3, Manchester City 0. This is obviously pre-Abu Dhabi money, obviously. And this was, let me just see if I can find the match card whilst I'm just rambling on. This was a game that finished 3-0 to West Ham, and it was fairly significant because this was a game in which Mr. Anthony Richard Cottee scored a hat-trick, ladies and gentlemen. So if I just go full screen with this and then just zoom in.
Their team, Christ.
So look at this. Right, so we were McCloskey in goal, and the back four was Potts, Breaker, Dix and Martin. The midfield was Bishop, Holmes, Hughes, Rush. And up top, we had the classic big man, little man strike partnership of the late Jerome Bohr and Tony Cottee. And then you look at Manchester City, they were the Welsh international, Andy Dibble in goal. And then they had at the back, they had Ian Brightwell, Alan Kernigan, David Brightwell. You also had Gary Flitcroft, David Kerr. I don't remember him. That's not a name that rings a bell, but the other ones do. But look at that. Our later to be captain, Stevie Lomas, in the Manchester City midfield that day. That got
Irish again, isn't it?
Dominated.
Yeah,
Northern Irishman.
Yeah.
Nicky Summerby, the son of the Manchester City legend Mike Summerby. Niall Quinn, Uwe Rösler, and Paul Walsh. And as you can see, there are goals all coming from Tony Cottee. 6th minute, 9th minute, 57th minute. And it was a game that was probably over by half time, if truth be told, because he got 2 goals in the first half, and early doors, and it was a pretty dominant performance, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, good memories, and it's nice to see West Ham actually putting a team like Manchester City to the sword. But as I say, putting it in a context, it's not like they had Aguero, De Bruyne, and all
Just
these
one
star
more,
names. This is
one
when
more,
they were a
yeah.
crap team, the same as the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, just one more point on the crowd. It's one of the lowest crowds of the season, 17,000.
Yeah.
So they weren't a pull, were they? They weren't a pull. No one gave a crap about
No.
City.
Mark's back. Oh, yeah, I think that's
Mark,
wise.
you're gonna
Mark.
put us off again.
I think
Mark.
that is wise. Yeah, just leave that to the bin men.
I went downstairs because I had dinner early, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get a bag of crisps." And then at the night, I was like, "So I'll get a chocolate bar." But Mark's put me off for a couple of days.
Nutella, and that. Yeah, don't look at it. No, leave it.
Yeah. leave well alone. So, shall I bring him in from the cold, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, please.
Let's bring him in from the cold.
There
So
we go.
this is the Aldi Martin Tyler's version of the commentary of the season 94-95 match at Upton Park. West Ham United 3, Manchester City 0. Enjoy. So throw into West Ham United down their left-hand side. Julian Dix to take the throw. He finds Matthew Holmes. Pinging around, it drops to Tony Cottee, strikes, saved by Dibble, and the rebound is put away by Tony Cottee to make it 1-0 to West Ham United here in the 7th minute at Upton Park. The ball was pinging around, it drops to Tony Cottee, who takes the strike, makes a great save to Andy Dibble, but the rebound he makes no mistake from, puts it past the Welsh goalkeeper. Bishop plays it out to the right-hand side. Will Breaker keep it in? Yes, he does. He cuts inside. What are his options? He looks. He sees Tony Cottee in the penalty box. Plays it to him. Cuts inside. And that's 2-0 to West Ham United. Here in the first half, they're 2-0 up already. They're absolutely flying. And both goals by the ace predator, Tony Cottee. But it was Tim Breaker who made the goal. Brilliantly kept the ball in from going out for a throw into Manchester City. Cuts inside. Releases Tony Cottee in the box, who makes no mistake at all. Dix with the throw. Looping throw. Cleared by the Manchester City defence, but only as far as Matty Holmes. And a great save by Andy Dibble. Otherwise, that would have been 3-0 and game over, you feel. Michael Hughes. Plays it in. Ian Bishop. Through ball to Tony Cottee. On a hat-trick. Cuts inside, left foot, off the post and in. That's the hat-trick. He's going home with the match ball today. And that is surely 3 points for West Ham United. Here at Upton Park, it's 3-0 to West Ham. That is surely over as a contest. Here's the ball again. Ian Bishop with a beautiful through ball to find Tony Cottee. And he made no mistake. In off the post, past Andy Dibble. West Ham United 3, Manchester City 0. Not bad. You know, nice to see TC getting a hat trick. I mean, I love TC. He was brilliant. And
do you know what we were
nice memories there, and some ace. Just sort of like to say about what Jazz was saying about sort of like born goal scorers. That, ladies and gentlemen, was West Ham, in my opinion, that's probably the last natural-born goal scorer we've had, with the possible exception of Jermaine Defoe. He was the guy was just lethal in and around the penalty box. He was something else.
I heard something, Gatesy, which I don't know. My dad knows. I need to do more work on it. That Brian Pop Robson was amazing in that mold. So I need to go back and watch a video. And he was nearly top scorer. And Marzi, you're both going to, I mean, Gatesy will know this, but Marzi, so Brian Pop Robson played for West Ham twice. So imagine this. You leave West Ham in 1974, so we win the cup in 1975. He comes back after, then he leaves in 1979. We win the cup in 1980. Can you imagine that?
He scored an absolute bucket load of goals, didn't he? I mean, he was lethal.
He didn't look like a footballer, though, did he? When you look at him, like, what the hell?
No,
yeah, he looked like Bobby
he did not look like a professional athlete. That has to be said, but probably neither did Jimmy Greaves in a lot of ways. And yet, you look. I mean,
Greaves.
Yeah, 362 goals.
Well, what
So,
shocked me about Jimmy Greaves was all these black and white photos with him in a dressing room smoking fags and having a beer. I'm like, shit, is that what they did? But I didn't know that. He didn't give, I don't know how many smoked a day. And no one said nothing much about it. But Brian Pop Robson, I think he's from the Tyneside, isn't he? Geordie boy, isn't he?
he's
Up
from
there,
the
Sunderland,
northeast. Yeah, he's Geordie.
Newcastle. Yeah, all up there, mate.
I
But
think he's
it's
played
great,
for both
Gatesy.
Newcastle and Sunderland in his pro days.
Funny
I think
name,
he must be
innit?
in his 70s now.
Pop can't be his real name, can it? Is it a nickname?
No,
in
it's
between?
Brian.
What's Brian?
Brian
Pop
Robson.
Robson.
But they just called him Pop because he'd have the ball at his feet and he'd have a pop at goal. So that was where the nickname came from.
Yeah.
So and of course,
Or he was a very young
you say
dad.
Brian Robson and people think of the Manchester United captain.
Was that Marzi?
Or he was a very young dad.
Maybe.
Pops
I
at 19.
possibly comment.
Poppy. Pop.
There we go. So that was my match choice number 2, and I hope everybody that's watched it either live or any of you that watch at a later stage, I hope you enjoyed the match. Listen, I have a laugh with it. I enjoy it. So I hope you do too. And if you don't, just turn the volume off. It's fine. So I think it's now over to you, Milesy, is it not? For match selection. No, hang on a minute. No.
Program.
No, hang on. The program. I do apologize. Let me find the program. Oh no, I did it earlier, didn't I? It was this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure I did. But there it is anyway, ladies and gentlemen. That's the program. 17th of December, I think this match was, if I remember correctly. Let me just check. Yeah, so it was just in the run up to Christmas. So
hey,
we got to do one. We got to do one of these in the pub as well. Get a pizza in and do one of them in the pub as well together live. That'd be great.
Yeah,
dear,
definitely.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah,
Fresh is saying Pop Robson was his first icon. You've probably just given your age away there, Fresh. But
bloody hell, Jesus!
My dad.
Even I was a
Pop
mad
Robson.
mate when he was around.
Pop Robson though, my dad tells me about him. He just says the geezer was absolutely lethal.
Yeah.
Just scored goals for.
Just
scored
sad.
Goals in his sleep.
2 people I noticed, Gates. He keep interrupting, but when you look at the 75 Cup final, so I was reading the book on Clyde Best and Pop Robson. Bobby Gould complains he didn't get on the pitch. He cried as a sub. I mean, he's a nice guy. Bobby Gould makes me laugh.
He still got a medal though, didn't he?
I'm not sure, but when you look at
I'm
Best
sure he
wasn't
did.
there, and then Pop Robson wasn't there, and then the new hero was the one who scored in every round. What's his? Oh, my mind's gone blank now.
Alan.
Yeah, he scored in the quarterfinal, semi-final. Yeah, Milkman.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, Milesy. We're done now. We keep reminiscing all little things that come to our minds.
It's all right, Jazz. I'll let you off. I love you, so it's different.
I know, mate. I know.
Milesy, match number 3 for you, sir.
My match number 3 is West Ham United versus Liverpool on the 10th of May.
Yes, it is. And I'm just going to
the reason.
There we go.
The reason why I picked this game as well, especially, was West Ham knew a win would keep us up in this.
Yes.
So that was the main reason why I picked it as well. And for a change, we didn't crumble. So it was very nice to do it. And the reason as well why I picked this is that Liverpool team is just ridiculous as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? To beat them 3-0.
Oh yeah.
The problem, I can't stand him as a commentator, but as a footballer, Steve McManaman, what a player he was. To my opinion.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I've met him live. He's all right. He's all right, mate. Out of all of them little gits, I find him when you meet him, he's not bad. I mean, I met him at like one of these shows, but I don't know. What do you think, Gatesy? I know you're going on quiet on me now.
I can't comment. I've never met Steve McManaman, so
no. But even do you think his commentating's a bit? I don't know. I mean, they're all kind of get a little bit.
I'll be honest. I don't have BT Sports, so I see him very sparingly. I have to be honest. I'm probably not the best person to ask, so I haven't got that a breadth of experience of listening to him droning on.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But I'll take us through the team. So we had Ludo in goal. Our defence was Potts, Breaker, Dix, and Reaper. And midfield was Ian Bishop, Matty Holmes, Michael Hughes, Don Hutchinson, John Moncur, and the big man Trevor Morley up top.
Oh, Morley. Brilliant, brilliant.
Love
You like
that
him.
guy. Love that.
He didn't feature that much, Milesy. Not that much, mate. This is
I
the
don't know,
second
was
game.
Tony Cotty injured in this? Because there was obviously no Tony Cotty there, so I'm guessing he must have been injured.
Yeah, this is only Morley's 4th or 5th game, mate. Yeah, right. Yeah, Cotty was in there more or less in and out.
I don't know if you've noticed as well, gents, but the substitute minutes, Simon Webster come on for Julian Dix after 13 minutes as well. At the bottom it says so.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Martin Allen is the other sub. I would have expected him to start. So yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously the Liverpool team is just obviously James, Harkness, Babb, Scales, Matteo, Clough, McManaman, Redknapp, Michael Thomas, John Barnes, and Robbie Fowler. So very young Robbie Fowler.
Great.
So to be honest, gents, when I saw this result, and that team, I weren't expecting the 3-0 victory. I know they didn't go on to win anything back then, but that team, I would be shit scared playing against that Liverpool team.
They finished
to be honest,
I believe, in this season. I think
they were fifth
bad.
going into this game. Yeah, they were 5th going into that game. Yeah, 5th.
Yeah.
So like I said, so we started off really well. Moncur was heavily involved, and he played a great ball out to the left to Matty Holmes, who took one touch in the penalty area just to get it away from the defender, and just struck this ball low and hard into the back post. They sort of said James may have been able to save it, but I think the strike was just so good that and so low down he didn't manage to save it. So we went on to win 1-0. The funniest bit was he done the shirt over his head and started running down the tricky mum, which I thought was quite funny.
Oh wow!
So that was quite funny. Like you said, I think they just knew how good that goal was. You just saw the togetherness of the players as well, which was a nice touch. We then move on into the second half. So the 60th minute, free kick in our own half. I can't remember who took it. I think it may have been Breaker who switched the ball over to Potts, who controlled the ball just inside the Liverpool half. Played a nice disguised ball into Morley, who then done a little back heel, and then Don Hutchinson just hit the ball first time outside the box from about 25 yards, and literally David James didn't even move.
Oh, he must have loved that against his old club. He must have loved that goal.
He celebrated, Jazz. It was surprisingly how well he celebrated when that went in.
I think they used to back. I think they used to back then. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't have a problem if a player wants to celebrate. No. I mean, so long as it's sort of not crossing the line. Do you know what I mean? And really rubbing your ex supporters' noses in it and making them look stupid. Then listen. If you're at a new club and they're paying you your wages, celebrate the goal. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And as you can see there by the clock, literally it was a minute later, we get the third goal. When I mean this is just a good work team goal. So Liverpool had the ball in the middle. I think it was Jamie Redknapp who had the ball. Morley tracked back, run into our own half and got the ball back and won the ball. And then it found who did it find? It found Bishop. Bishop played a couple 1-2 back with Morley. Played the ball out to Breaker on the halfway, and then Breaker just took one touch. Didn't fall over. He didn't fall over.
He didn't fall over in the Man City game earlier as well, because Tom commented on that.
Yeah, and literally I'm not exaggerating, but the ball was literally a great whipped. It was like Beckham-esque, literally the curl round, and literally. Don Hutchinson took this touch from the outside of his foot to take it past. This is in the penalty box, so that's how much his ball's travelled. Took one touch, and then he just took it early and put it past James. And then literally, what he done a belly slide in the penalty box after he scored. So it was an amazing goal, and you see Harry Redknapp giving the old fist pump with Tony Cotty was Sorry, forgot to mention that Gatesy. He was just in his training gear, so I don't know whether it was a late fitness test or that's what he just wore to the game. You saw Tony Cottee in the background.
Yeah, he's not even on the bench. Was it raining that game? They done a belly flop. Was it raining or?
No.
Oh, that's painful.
I know. And then you see Harry Redknapp going nuts as well, and
yeah, paychecks in the bank.
and then you hear the West Ham fans chanting, "We are staying up, we are staying up," which was nice. And Gatesy, the commentator, was Mr. John Monson. Was the commentator of this game as well?
Can't beat that.
Mr. Sheepskin.
Yeah. So, like you said, gents, that was the two. Obviously, the games what I've included was obviously the Leicester game because I thought that win was important to get us on that margin to start getting us up. Pick the Blackburn because obviously very crucial, and obviously the Liverpool game to keep us up. So they were the reason for my games.
And just to sum that, Miles, we finished after Liverpool's game in the second highest position all season. We were 12th once after Southampton game, probably after 8-9 games. But after that game, we've gone from 16th to 13th. So that's, like you said, they all bunched together. And we were 19th a few games before that. But the good run has brought us, nearly mid-table, mate. Yeah, really good win. Yeah.
So that were my games, gents.
Here, hang on, let me find it. There we go. That is the programme for the Liverpool game.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because we played Crystal Palace the game before.
Is that Palace? Yeah. That Palace player with the old headband? That's Eric Young, isn't it?
I ain't got a clue.
If he has, he would be. He would be from Wimbledon. He would be. Yeah.
I was going to say, you remember him from Wimbledon days, didn't you, Jazz? He always had the headband on.
They do exchange a lot of players, them two. I've just noticed Wimbledon Palace. Yeah, they do, don't they?
Well, they're only down the road from one another, I guess. Isn't it?
Don't have to move home, do they?
No, sort of like it's only a couple of miles as the crow flies. So there you go. So Jazz, your final match. Talk to me.
This is very similar to last season. So I spoke about Manchester United at home, and it's not a win, it's not a defeat, but it's a monumental game in history that people always remember. Last season was the nice welcome for Incy. This season's a nice welcome for Alex. Welcome to East London, my son. Eat a cold pie and mash. But anyway, it's May the 14th. I love May. It's my birthday, as you know. I can't stop shutting up about my wife's had to go at me already. But anyway, May the 14th, Sunday. And this was the first time from Sky I can remember. They're probably showing two live games at the same time, perhaps changing on two channels. So we didn't know who's going to win the league. So if I look at the league table, you got Blackburn on 89 points, Manchester United on 87, and Forest are like 11 behind. So don't worry about them.
That's it.
So Blackburn are playing Liverpool. They're playing Liverpool in this game. And Man United have got the team, which I keep telling everyone. Alex says, I'd rather play any team. I just don't want to play West Ham. And he's gone there on record and said that in my whole life, I love John Lyon, I love West Ham, but that game, especially Upton Park, is. And my dad used to tell me, Gatesy, I'm not really that mad on stats, but obviously I'm talking about late 80s. My dad always say that if you look at the record against Manchester United, Upton Park, we got one hell of a record against them. And then he used to get upset when it kind of got ruined a little bit after the Beckham era. But in there, we still try to come back in between. So our record, especially, I don't want to talk about Old Trafford a lot, but at Upton Park at home to Manchester United.
Oh, yeah.
We used to. We're not bad. We're not bad, mate.
We had a very good record. They did not like coming to Upton Park. That's
why the cameras are always. If you notice, the cameras are never at Old Trafford in the league game. They're always at Upton Park, more than not.
Oh yeah.
So look how crucial the game is, and we like on the back of what Marcy said, we don't have anything to play for. That's when we're at most of our dangerous. And if I look at the team lineups quickly, we've got again similar. Yeah, Simon Webster's in there. Potts is. I don't think Simon Webster actually played the game, even though he's on the back of the. Let me look at the actual lineup.
He was a substitute. He came on for Michael
Yeah,
Hughes.
so the actual lineup is McCloskey, Reaper, Roland, Breaker. Breaker got yellow card, Potsy. So, okay, that's fair enough. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Going back to what Marzi said, there's no dicks in this game. That's why Roland's in there. There you go. So, tactics by little Harry. He's playing 5-1 up front, the nutter. Got Bishop, Michael Hughes, Hutchinson, Matt Holmes, and Monker. But Hutchinson is like Gatesy, like one in the hole.
He's probably the one in the hole. Yeah, he's a sort of like, he's probably more a 4-4-1-1.
Exactly. And Morley's the one, he'll run all day for anyone. You know, he'll do anything, like a bit like Antonio. United,
funny thing, this would have been his last match, wouldn't it, Jazz?
He is fluctuating between Norway. He's going on loan to Norway a lot, where I keep saying he kind of lives there. He's fluent in the lingo.
I think
he's on their TV.
I think this was his last game for us, I think.
What I used to laugh about him is he couldn't make up his mind. Shall I keep the moustache or shall I shave it off? So half the games he'll have the tash, and then after time, he just didn't make up his mind. Marzi always likes to look at the opposition, and I'm going to make you nervous now, Marzi. Schmeichel in goal. Irvin, who's Keane's like a brother, favourite mate. Brucey. Pallister, who we lovingly going to see crying at the end. Gary Neville, very young Gary Neville.
Aww.
I don't think Brucey got any England caps, did he? Or Pallister for that? Hardly, not many. Bruce, I think. I don't remember Bruce.
No, Pallister did. Pallister got England caps, but Brucey didn't.
I'll have a look while you're doing that.
Bold. Steve Bold never got any England caps.
No, and interesting point where we've kind of lost a coach. He's got a big name, Bold, and he's respected a lot, isn't he? I don't know. What do you think? Would you bring him in?
He was at Arsenal for a spell.
They got rid of him last week.
He still is.
No, they sacked him 4 days ago, and then Alan Airbite yesterday. Yeah, so I don't know, mate.
Yeah, so gents, so Steve Bruce played for England youth at 97-9 to 1980, and then he played one game for England B in 1987.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Why Steve Bruce came to my mind was because Duke's from Gillingham, and I got family in Gillingham. He started at Gillingham, didn't he? And then
he did.
Made his name at Norwich with Mike Phelan before moving on to Man United. And Bruce is always famous, like one of those centre backs. The nose has been broken in 2-3 directions, isn't it? And they've tried to squeeze it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like puts to see nose.
I hope he can breathe at night when he's sleeping. You know what I mean? I hope he snores the right way. Yeah.
Sorry, gents. So you're right. You're right, Jazz. So he played 205 games for Gillingham, scoring 29 goals.
Yeah.
And obviously, Man United scored 36. So in his total career, including all other clubs, 737 games and 81 goals.
That's a lot of goals. Oh my god!
For a centre back, he was quite prolific.
Shit, I didn't realise 81 goals.
Yeah.
I bet Devonshire ain't a lot more.
And he never took penalties, to the best of my knowledge. He certainly never did at Man United.
He must have come late. He must have been a Dawson. Mate. Come in late and just get on the end of it.
Virgil van Dawson.
Yeah. The Dawson of his day.
Codfather. Midfield is our favourite son, Paul Ince, Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, and Lee Sharp. Yeah, he's coming to from Bury, wasn't it? Gatesy came from Bury, I think. Or
no, Lee Sharp was from Torquay. He was actually a left back.
He lives in the castle. Nice house he's got. If you saw that England, the one Harry managed that program when he, with Ruddock and them. Like, he's part of that gang, isn't he? Nice little.
Do you know something? I'm going to tell you a little story. Since you've
the original back of Lee Sharp.
Harry's Heroes, wasn't it? That's what you're talking about. Well, they filmed part of that at our local semi-pro football club, Dartford Football Club. And how I know this, because my daughter used to play for their girls' team. And we was up there on a Monday. She had training. We was up there, and I'm just in the bar minding my own business. And someone turned around to me and said, "Oh, you never guess who's on the pitch?" And I'm like, "Throw me a bone." And they turned around and said, "David Seaman, Lee Sharp, John Barnes, right?" And I'm like, "You're joking." Matt Letitia, they were all on the pitch, literally feet from where I was stood, right? And I was like, "Oh, wow." And I was like, I don't want to, go and bother them and pester them. They're doing their thing. They're being filmed.
It's
like,
our,
you
it's
know.
our era, though, isn't it, Gatesy? It's our time.
Yeah. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I wanted to. I didn't want to sort of like come over as a sort of like a starstruck prick. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, whatever. I'm here with my daughter. She's at training. I'm in the bar. Blah blah blah. As I'm sitting there, who comes wandering in? John
Gaza.
Barnes. No, John Barnes.
I heard he's all right.
came
He's all right,
wandering in.
fella.
Do you know what? He was a really nice fella. He was a really nice guy. Never got his autograph, never got my photograph taken. We just had a quick chat to him, and he come across really well. But you know what? Bless him, he can barely fucking walk.
He's all, even when he played. I wouldn't say he's had a belly, but he always just looked round it, and his accent.
He's a big boy now.
I've heard Jamaican speak, but his accent was like, John, what is that accent? Do you live in America for a bit? What is it?
No, because I think he came over here sort of quite young, so he's still got that Jamaican accent.
It's not Jamaican accent though. It's a bit.
It's kind of been sort of like, whatever. It's a bit like, I don't know. You ever heard who's the fella? Owen Hargreaves. He's got a really weird accent.
We were talking about him last night with the kids. They're like, Dad, I was
like,
he's born and bred in Germany, mate. And then
he's got a sort of Canadian with a German sort of twang to it, but his parents were from Bolton, if I remember rightly. So he's got a real mix of accents. It's really weird.
Bolton. Oh,
but there you go. But lovely, just as you mentioned that, I thought, completely unrelated to what we're actually talking about. But because you mentioned sort of Harry's heroes, I thought I'd just sort of throw that into the pot. And like I say, it was quite surprising. Like I say, because I always remember John Barnes flying down the wing, absolute cracking player. It's more, I'll be honest and say probably more so for Liverpool than he ever was for England, unfortunately. But that happens with some players.
But then in '86,
I remember him absolutely flying down the wing with the ball at his feet. Really sort of nimble, dexterous, big guy. He was quite stocky.
That's what I'm surprised about. How he used to never lose the
sort of shuffling along.
Yeah.
So, sorry, gents. I've just noticed something. He must have been injured, and there's no Ryan Giggs even in the squad in this one.
There's no Giggs, and Mark Hughes is on the bench.
He's probably shagging his sister-in-law.
Well, there's a big podcast with his brother that I listened to the other week. His brother's on the podcast. If you close your eyes, he sounds like Ryan. And anyway, let's not talk about.
I reckon he was watching.
Yeah.
Of course he was.
There's a lot of players involved in.
Sorry, Jazz.
No, I'm just like
another tangent we've got on and off.
Yeah, I better not say anything. Yeah. So forwards are Brian McClare, Andy Cole, and Mark Hughes is on the bench, which I'm Scholes's on the bench. So young. Yeah. So Brian McClare, like I said, Gates, he obviously from Scotland, and Fergie always I kept telling you he doesn't like the Premier League Scottish players or what it was back then. Yeah, he always preferred those type of. Another player I wanted to just mention is a couple of seasons before this, I saw Mark McGee play for Newcastle Upton Park when we were in the when we got relegated. Yeah. And I thought he came across as a fabulous guy and a player and a reasonable manager. I think he managed Reading, for a number of years.
Wasn't he under Alex Ferguson when he was at Aberdeen? I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with Eric Black and all those Gordon Strachan, and yeah. Actually, I just remember. I don't know. We got friendly with Reading. Reading's down the road from me, about 10 minutes away. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, my son studies at Reading Uni, so hopefully, I don't care. I'm going to get in there, mate, one way or another. So I've been waiting for this. I know we played Wickham, which is not far, so we're playing Reading in one of them. So, but that's a lineup, and they've got to win to have any chance of winning the league. And
I agree with that comment from West Ham Online. I thought Dennis Irwin was a cracking player.
Oh yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
And he could play left back and right back. He could play either one, and no problem at all.
From a dead ball, free kick or penalties, it was lethal. Oh,
mate, he could open a can of beans. Honestly,
you know, like Roy Keane kills everyone, but when he talks about he's with love, it's like. He can't say anything wrong. He goes, I love him. He's my best pal. We were brought together in the same area of Dublin nearly. Dennis this, Dennis that. And I can understand that. But, Roy Keane's such a miserable git and has a go at everyone, But for Dennis, Not one word. He goes, like, no. And he puts him in that. You know, when they do their World X1, the best team, Dennis
Yes,
is
he's always in there.
always
He's
in
got to
there.
find a way to get Dennis Irwin in there, which is fair enough.
It's fair enough. I'm obviously carrying wounds from that 6-0 Oldham defeat, so I don't like Oldham players. Richie and Holden and what was that guy Blackburn bought the other week, and so I don't like Oldham for all those reasons anyway. But there you go. Anyway,
The scars are still there.
I don't like. Yeah, the way it is, the ground is which is the highest in the UK, isn't it, Gatesy? The coldest, the highest.
I'll tell you, the highest one in the UK. This is really sad that I know this, ladies and gentlemen.
Carlisle,
the highest altitude ground in the UK is the Hawthorns. There you go.
My cousin used to live on down the road from there, and it's known to snow a lot. It's got a very steep hills and stuff like that. So interesting. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, the game kicks off, and the commentators mentioned the referee's Alan Wilkie. Gatesy will definitely know Alan Wilkie, slightly balding guy.
Was he the bald fight? Yeah.
Balding guy. Alan Wilkie looks like a nice, all right referee. You know, United and the Sky make a point of mentioning the United players look nice and relaxed. I
bet they weren't. They weren't.
He goes, Alex has done a good job. They look nice and relaxed. Going back to the Super League argument, pumping the Super League up as always. Anyway, so we have the first goal action after 31 minutes, but again, you got to watch this. Electrifying atmosphere, jam-packed. Get this, you don't get it any other game. You don't get it at Liverpool games. You don't get it at Arsenal games. You don't get it at Chelsea games. It's Man United and Spurs. And Man United a bit more, I would say, controversially. I don't know why. I'll have to do a bit more history, digging it. I know when we won the 64 FA Cup, we beat Man United in the semi-finals, I think.
We did.
Yes, when they had George, when we had
Sisson, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. I think Sisson's from West London boy. He was Middlesex boy, if I remember. But anyway, that's me barking on again. Anyway, so throw from John Moncur, and I go back to, I used to love John Moncur. Throw by John Moncur. He finds Matty Holmes on the edge of the box. Michael Hughes, remember that name? Michael Hughes arrives unmarked in the box, because what United are doing, they're man marking in the penalty area only. So Morley's up front by himself. So this is like perhaps what John Lyle's done in the 1980 Cup final, where you're only playing one up front and then Don is just floating around. They don't know who to mark. Obviously, they've got Morley marked, perhaps one or two others. Michael Hughes arrives unmarked into the penalty area late and meets the cross and side foots it into the bottom right-hand corner. There's nothing Schmeichel can do about it, because Schmeichel is expecting a cross to go into more central area, into the where the strikers are. But we've got other ideas, and perhaps they worked on it in the training ground. Like I keep saying about Harry's a smart guy, and Michael Hughes is not even in the picture. And we all seen this goal, the side-footed. And Schmeichel and the crowd, Gacy's like, we won the World Cup. It goes nuts.
Just exploded, didn't it?
Oh my God! The commentators obviously, because of the importance of the goal, and then they're switching cameras. What's happening in the Blackburn game? Because this is the latest league table now. This is what's happened. And Alex's face. I mean, there's always looks red. This is extra red. The cheeks have gone really red.
I think, if I remember rightly, Jazz, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Blackburn go 1-0 up at Anfield? So when they went 1-0 down Manchester United, they were like 5 points off of winning the Premier League with one game to go, obviously less than a game to go, sort of thing. So it was quite sort of like.
So what happened? You're absolutely right.
Quite pivotal.
Absolutely right. Goal. Alan Shearer put them 1-0 up. We scored on the 31st minute. And when you look at that, it's more or less over, isn't it? Alan Shearer, they're 1-0 up, so they're what? They're 5 clear, are they? What it looks like?
Yeah,
something like
they were two apart before the game started. So
you're absolutely right. And actually, it's so funny. John Barnes actually made it 1-1 after 64 minutes, and Jamie, who we've been talking about,
scored. Jamie scored, and then a free kick. I remember because there was the thingy. He didn't want to
Of
celebrate, did he? He
course.
didn't know what to do. He was just like,
Yeah.
"I've just scored this worldie," but
I've
I
just
think
I've
Man
just given
United's
the
now gonna.
title to Man United. Yeah.
Their
Brilliant.
referee is David Ellery, and the crowd at Anfield was 40,000, just to give people an idea of what people were getting back then. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down. And then what I noticed after that is Andy Cole hits the post. It's going to be a scenario of, because usually when you look at replays, they only show the goals. But for this game, because of the near misses and drama,
Yeah.
it's a lot of these. So Andy Cole hits the post. But then for the second bit of incident in the same half, Roy Keane he's on the wing a lot. So he's on the. I don't know. Did I miss something? I mean, I thought Roy Keane was just a central defender in the middle, but he's on the wing. He crosses to Lee Sharp, and Lee Sharp, he didn't score a lot with his head, but this header's going in, everyone, to the top right hand corner, and somehow I'd call this a world class save. I'll take the mick out of McCloskey a lot. Obviously, I love him a little bit. I'm just like, it's only because I think deep down, I think he could have done even better than what he was. I think even better.
Yeah.
He's diving. He's a big frame, and you're thinking you've dived too early or the ball's you're not going to get to it. I don't know how he does it. Goalkeepers, every finger counts. I wasn't a goalkeeper. I can't understand it. But when you even think it's gone, they somehow get something to it, tips it over, and Lee Sharp's got his hands in his head in his hands. I'm like, what the hell, mate? Gatesy, does that ring a bell, that save from Lee Sharp?
Yeah, I remember it.
So
yeah, I think this was his finest game in West Ham colours, Ludo.
And it gets more crazy in the second half. So half-time we're 1-0 up, and Liverpool game is still 1-0 to Blackburn. So all the drama's going to happen in the second half yet. And it's fairly early. Brian McClare, young Gary Neville, free kick. They've actually given him enough confidence for fullback to take a free kick, which I find quite amazing. But there you go, maybe because we were talking about, if I remember, we were talking about Konchelskis last season, weren't we? Why isn't he in this game?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about, something's gone on. So Gary Neville takes a free kick. He finds it's really bad defending from our end. We're not marking him. He's sitting there with so much room. It's unbelievable. He's unmarked, and he's simply, a striker from probably had 12 years experience by then. Just heads it in the goal, really. And they're back in it. It's 1-1, 52 minutes gone. And everyone's like, oh, plenty of time here, mate. Only need one more goal. Well, not one more goal, but they're still worried about the Blackburn result. And the one thing I overlooked and forgot, Mr. Ince's there again, isn't he? Ince's there, getting the booze. He tries to score, but he's largely kept quiet throughout the game. And Brian McClare misses a really good open chance. When it's not your day, it's not your day. And this is what I am. Some of the misses in this game, especially from people like Andy Cole, I can't make it up how they've missed it or that kind of thing. Then Miklosko saves from a Mark Hughes header with 9. The commentator says there are 9 Manchester United players in the box, and there's still 20 minutes to go. So you can tell they only got one at the other side, and the other one's a goalkeeper. I'm not sure if goalkeepers used to come up back in those days. This is a chance. Andy Cole's not got a whole goal gaping in front of you, close range. It's harder to miss. It's straight at McCloskey. I think Andy Cole's the culprit of a lot of the misses. And then again, all the players are bunched together in the box, and Cole misses again. So I'm talking about 5-6 chances now.
Yeah.
And one of them is where it's like rugby. You got 21 players in the box. No one's ever seen anything like this. And Tim Breaker, it looks like the ball's going in, and he puts his body on the line. It hits him in his chest, on the side of his stomach. And the ball's just pinging around like a table tennis game. And we just keep finding them blocking it. It's crazy stuff was going on. And I don't think there's going to be many faces like that. And in the end, they just give up. They cannot put the ball in the net. And I think the news has filtered through. And Sky have got their cameras on Fergie. And he's quickly done a handshake with Harry. And I got a feeling that I'm not sure which way this is going to go with Fergie in the either he's going to kill them all, throw things around the box, or he's just going to admit it's not going to be in our day. But he looks young, and I think a young Fergie was a pretty ruthless character. I know he would have knocked a few of them out. You know what I mean? Pallister's in tears, nearly in tears, or in tears. And the famous story, which I know Gatesy knows, Marzi might not know, is that Blackburn sent a couple of bottles of champagne to West Ham from Kenny, I think, or the chairman, after a week. Yeah, either on the day or a week after, and then everyone's like, was it on the day, Gatesy, or was it ready? I don't know, but we definitely got champagne for Blackburn, mate. Yeah.
And as Mark said earlier, I don't know if you saw the comment. I'll just put it up again. That Gailey, because obviously he was at Blackburn and he's just won the Premier League. He never actually played in the game at Anfield. I think he might have been injured. I'm not sure, but he apparently the story goes is that he got the Blackburn players singing a Lancastrian rendition of "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles."
Yeah.
Basically told them, you never won the Premier League for Blackburn. Ludo Miklosko did.
Well, what this tells me,
Brilliant.
Miles, is the brain of Kenny Dalglish in signing players. He's a very clever guy. We always remember him as a player whose daughter is a very articulate, really nice girl on TV. You know, she's been well brought up and doing an okay job. And this is Kenny. I mean, you shouldn't forget. I mean, Souness was okay. Souness there's something going on. There's definitely he's broken with Liverpool. There's something going on. I've upset someone. He's not that much welcome. Kenny's the god out there. Like Brooke King is with us, similar stature.
Yeah.
And you cannot knock Kenny's brain in terms of signing players. And to get Tony Gale on a free, listen, he knew, you know.
From Wealdstone as well. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. We actually let him go to non-league Wealdstone, and Kenny Dalglish picks him up from Wealdstone, takes him to Blackburn, and they win the Premier League. I'm not saying they won it because of Tony Gale, but he was an ingredient in their success.
Who did they have? They had Sherwood as well, didn't they?
Captain.
He was the captain. He was the captain.
Or was it the Scottish guy centre back captain? I can't remember now.
No. It was Tim Sherwood that lifted the trophy
from Norwich. Yeah. Other thing, Gatesy, Marzi, I don't know if you know, but Dalglish actually came to West Ham for a trial in the 70s. He came down.
No?
Yeah, but
I heard about that.
Yeah. He didn't want to. We were close to signing. Celtic days. Liverpool. He must have joined around 77.
Jazz, because you remember you said about. I think it was you that said in 67 we could have signed Gordon Banks. What would have happened? What would West Ham's history have looked like if we'd have signed Gordon Banks and Kenny Dalglish?
There's one more story missing, which I think you know, that Glenn Roeder is very close to signing Drogba. Very close. Drogba was another one that got so close. And...
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Drogba.
Goodness me.
Mars, he should have, nearly came in. And for
that
one
would have
reason
been
or
about
another,
3 years or so before he went to Chelsea, because or was it?
I'm not being funny, gents.
Chelsea.
Yeah, go ahead, Marzi. Go ahead.
No, can you imagine Freddie Canute and Didier Drogba up front for West Ham?
Canute was Marzi. Canute was smooth like this.
Oh, and Di Canio just behind.
And Defoe coming off the bench.
And go to Spurs. I'm going to kill him.
Hell.
But anyway, bloody. Joe Cole. I'm going to be controversial. Joe Cole for West Ham.
No, crack on.
With a potential. I can't remember too many exciting things. I can't. Carrick. Few games here and there. I mean, obviously, we didn't see. Yeah,
if I had to pick out of Cole and Carrick, it would be Carrick for me.
Oh, yeah, me and all. No contest. And
Carrick's quite smart
I know
guy.
that Joe Cole's probably the one that had all the silky tricks and all the rest of it, but just Carrick made the midfield tick. And I agree with what Russ Budden says quite regularly, that if you look at every single team that Carrick was at, West Ham, he left, and West Ham never replaced him. He went to the Spuds, he left there, they never replaced him. He went to Manchester United, where he saw out his career, they've never replaced him.
They still haven't.
And that says it all.
But Gatesy, if you notice, we sell something to Tottenham for £5, they sell it for 15. That's what hurts, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there is that. There is that.
Like
Daniel Levy knows how to make a few quid, doesn't he?
Well, I hope he's I'm not going to talk about him, but yeah. So this was the ending. We spoiled it for them. Yeah, because I'm going to go on and on and on. I don't want to turn into a Tottenham show. We've got to do a separate one for that. And but yeah, amazing. Second time we've done this, and we finished. I haven't got the final table, but I think we're healthy, 13th, 12th, perhaps, or something like that. So I think
I've got that on the banner.
I've got to give it. I've got to give a Harry. I've got to give a Harry. Well done. I've got to do it. I think superb.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be like some other people we know. Well done. Superb and very clever guy. I don't know what you say about.
Mean.
Yeah, and well, they're not watching anyway, so don't worry. But what I was going to.
Well, I've been blocked on Twitter, so
Yeah,
Whatever. Same here.
yeah. Well, that's my wife, isn't it? Silly move. Anyway, but yeah. Listen, Harry is a lot of things which we know about, but I cannot hide away from the fact that the players love him. He's got a great transfer brain, and I've got to put my arm around them, and they love me. And I'm like, God, is that the mentality of the players? You got to put on. You know, I used to love that.
He's your top,
put my arm
he's your
around
top player. He's terrific. We're down to the bare bones.
He's 29, Chairman. Give him a 5-year contract. So, but how did we pick up Reaper from Denmark back then? Like, what the hell? Did we have a scout in Denmark? I'm really surprised.
And he was one of the top centre backs of that time. He was one of the world renowned.
But Brøndby are a big team, aren't they? Brøndby a big team, aren't they?
Maybe Harry had enough of his bulldogs and wanted a Norwegian dog, so he saw him playing one day.
Do you know what it would Harry? He just comes across. I know they all earn good money. He just seems money mad to me, and he says sometimes, "Oh, my nan was into betting and horsey. She got me into it," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, he just seems really money desperate. Like even now, I was like, "I'm going to do the roly poly advert. I'm going to do my show now.
I'm a celebrity,"
and I'm like, and then you know he got $1 million or something from that show. Oh, yeah, I'm going to just give it to the kids to buy something nice. I'm like, how much money has that guy got? Jesus. And I look at Bobby. I mean, obviously, God bless him, Bobby, and didn't really, It's just that if he kept that bit of class, then he'll be in higher regard in front of my eyes. Yeah. But, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think if he didn't go to Tottenham, I reckon he would be still at that club now, being a director of football for us. If Harry never went to Tottenham, he'd be a director of football now, and he would actually work for David Colden Sullivan. Can you imagine them players who he could bring in for us? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Marzi, that's the thing. Talk to Portsmouth and Southampton fans. What they think he done the same thing there, didn't he? You do not go from that Pompey to Saints. You do not do that. He doesn't. He laughs it off because everyone loves him, because the media love him, and they never write anything bad about him. There you go. Yeah.
Do you remember when he was Southampton manager and he went back? Yeah, he went when there was a when he was Southampton manager for that brief spell between his time at Portsmouth, and he went back to Fratton Park and they lost 4-1 and they got relegated under Redknapp. People forget that. But he got, I think he was getting death threats. He was all sorts. And the thing is, even though he went back to Portsmouth and he won them the FA Cup, as Tom says here, you know,
he bankrupted. They never recovered.
He's hated at Pompey and Southampton.
QPR financially never recovered, mate. Never recovered. Over.
It's all right. He's in his £15 million house on Sandbanks with his fucking dog.
Luke's not a fan either. Luke is not a fan. Care to elaborate, Luke? If you would.
My dad used to laugh. Do you remember Gatesy used to go that? Bit like that, innit? Harry like that.
Yeah, well, you know, we're down to the bare bones. It's kind of like a cut price version of Uncle Albert.
What it is? That come? I don't want to. Yeah,
you in the ball.
Yeah, no, but you guys know that he nearly died in Italia 90 in that car crash with the Bournemouth chairman.
And his best friend did die, Brian Tyler.
Very sad, very sad. Yeah, they were very, very close. And imagine you're in the car, one comes out, one doesn't, and that's why we often just we have a laugh at a bagpuss face, and so that's the effect of that. So yeah. But we are serious. We are caring.
And he nearly run over his wife as well.
Oh yes, I forgot about that, Luke. Yes,
Are
they
you
are.
serious? Well, the
Yeah.
golf buggy.
No, he reversed back and didn't realise she was behind, and he crushed her.
Oops. That's
Well,
divorce courts right there.
he likes his Mercedes S class. He likes that one, and then he likes the Land Rovers. Because Sky Cameron, do you remember that hilarious time where he thought he signed that West Brom striker, didn't he? Forgot his name.
Odewingie.
Yeah,
Peter Odewingie.
and he had half a cell. Harry had half a brain in him as well, and they all got together and made a right little show of themselves, didn't
They
they?
told me not to be here, but the deal was pretty much done.
And he's like, but you two got to tell me this. I've never heard in my history where we found out that he gets commission from players sold. That does not make any sense to me.
Well,
that is shocking.
All I'll say is, if that is true, and I'm not saying it is true, but if that is true, then that's bang out of order.
That's true. I'll send you.
In my opinion,
that's
I can't get sued if I say it's my opinion. In my opinion,
that's true. That's true. I'll give you the article.
I think he's as bent as a 9-bob note as far as that's concerned. It's my opinion. Because I can't get done if I say it's my opinion.
No, I can find it now.
I'm just saying it's my opinion. That I think he's taking brown envelopes all day long. Because as Tom says,
how many players used to sell
Bournemouth
them?
and West Ham, and he's on one of the richest estates in the country. Draw your own conclusions.
His son lives next door, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably.
There he is with his insurance.
We're down to the
2
bare
dogs.
bones. He's a terrific player. He's a top player.
Oh,
One day he'll reach the top.
When you Google it, Gatesy, these acquisitions go back to every club, including Birmingham, what he's done. Bribes.
Well, this is the thing,
Oh my
there's
God,
no smoke
it
without
goes-
fire, is there?
That lawyer that got him off that tax evasion case, you're brilliant, mate.
Oh,
Well done.
mate, honestly, I'll tell you
Well
what,
done,
it must have
mate.
been the guy that got
I
OJ
can't
Simpson
read
off
and
or something
write.
like that.
I can't read and write. Do you remember that?
What a load of old bollocks.
Terrific.
I've just transferred the
it's my
18 million to my dog.
Well,
Yeah,
did you see
your
the
dog's bank
transfer
account.
request? Did you see the transfer request that people are taking the piss? Harry Kane's written. Thank you,
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yes. They did the same thing. I remember when Wayne
Harry-
Rooney put in a transfer request about 10 years ago at Manchester United. when
Well,
Fergie
he
in
was there
charge.
last night. Wasn't
I
he,
remember
in the
they did
crowd
a
with his
similar
son?
thing.
Plonker.
Oh,
He's got a
dear.
nice mansion in
Nico
Barbados.
Cranshaw. Yeah, because Nico Cranshaw was signed
Yeah.
about 20 times by Harry, wasn't he?
You're right.
He was, wasn't he?
And-
And he's living there. Christ.
And
sakes.
afterwards, they used to give each other a high five, didn't they? Here you go.
And who was the other ones? Obviously, Crouchy,
Sol Campbell, Defoe,
Mendes.
anyone
Pedro
who's 30,
Mendes.
anyone who's 30, no risk. Like oh bloody hell, Paul Merson, couple of those strikers up front. Sorry, the Everton
Yakubu.
centre back. Centre back. Yeah,
Distan.
Yakubu. Yeah, it's just like fantasy football, isn't it? It's like goes
Yeah.
on and on and on. And listen, it's exciting as a fan, but the destruction left behind. Oh my God! Because like I said, Gatesy, he's always signing 30-year-olds on huge contracts.
Big money. Yeah.
I put my arm around them. They're terrific, but they're not terrific.
Well,
you know?
I get a tune out of them, didn't I?
Because I could sign a 29 because I know he's good. There's no risk to that. But can he find a Suchek? Can he find a Kafal? Well, he did. To be fair, he did find one or two, but largely at the end,
he got Sebastian Schemmel.
player of the season, hammer of the year, I believe. One season.
I remember.
Paul Merson.
Yeah,
Paul
no, he was a
Merson.
good
Teddy
player.
Sheringham.
Yeah, mind you, they was at the end of their.
I was just thinking about age more than anything else.
Yeah. But
Oh, Casey, have you done your game yet?
no, I've just sort of gone with the flow. I'm just going with the flow. It's all good. Shall we get to my last game?
Yeah, let's go.
Well,
Let's go.
I have to be honest. My last game, sadly, for reasons beyond my control, there is very, very limited footage of this game, and it's annoying because it's not like
that's
it's a game from the
interesting. That's
1920s. Honestly, I've looked everywhere, and there's all I've got is basically a 30, 40 second
What game is it, Gatesy?
That's it. This is the match. It was on the 5th of March, 1995. We went to Highbury and we prevailed by a score of 1-0. It was a 20th minute goal by Don Hutchison. If I just put the match card up.
Shall I see if I got the season review somewhere in the video? Shall I have a look for it?
Oh, it's okay. No, it's fine. What I'll do, I'll just go. So if we look here, 36,295, and the referee was a Mr. Brian Hill. Not a name that rings a bell, I have to say. But if we look here, Arsenal was. It says here Vince Bartram.
That's a good crowd, isn't it? 36,000. That's a good crowd.
And if it was Vince Bartram, then I think I've made a cock up on the commentary because I think I say it's David Seaman that he's put the goal past, but the footage is really grainy.
No,
but whatever.
I'll
edit that out. Don't worry, no one will notice. And then you got Steve Bold, Lee Dixon, Andy Linnigan, and Nigel Winterburn.
Yeah. Nigel. We've got
in midfield was John Jensen, who, what was it? He only scored the one goal for Arsenal.
Because he was an absolutely, truly centre defensive in like you said.
He scored the European final in '92 when Denmark beat Germany, didn't they?
It's so slow in the Gatesy. 1 goal, 2 goals, you get in your life. Like that.
Yeah. And then you had Paul Merson, Ray Parler, West Ham fan, whatever he says, Stefan Schwartz, Glenn Helder, and Ian Wright with the substitutes.
Marzi, we love Merson, though, don't we, as a player? Don't we? We love
him. He was quality. Definitely.
And he'd be great, like in the pub, like a guy like that. He's like us, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have a laugh with him.
I think he's on like him.
Yeah, there you go. He's like us. There's no showness with him. He's a nice.
I think he's on about his 18th kid or something, though, and 15th marriage, isn't he?
Probably. Probably. He likes wedding cake, and he must enjoy changing nappies.
He's gonna be skint now, isn't he?
And then on the bench you got Chris Kawamia and Steve Morrow, who gained a level of infamy a couple of years earlier when he scored the winning goal in the League Cup final for Arsenal. And then in the post-match celebrations, he was hoisted up by Tony Adams, fell off of his shoulders and broke his collarbone.
I'll take the kids that Gatesy last week.
Oh dear, terrible. And then on the West Ham side, we've got McCloskey in goal. We got Potts, Breaker, Dix, Reaper as the defence. You've then got in midfield Allen, Bishop, Hutchison, and Moncur. And then up top, you've got Tony Cottee and Trevor Morley. And then as a substitute that's introduced on the 80th minute for Trevor Morley is Matthew Rush. If I just scroll out, there's only 2 yellow cards that are given, both for West Ham. One for John Moncur, not really a shock, that is it, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
and the other one was for Don Hutchison. So, so there we go. So, let me get rid of that and go to...
You like Arsenal games, I've noticed. You like Arsenal games.
Yeah, I've done that
last couple of weeks, haven't
Arsenal.
Marzi likes
Liverpool.
Actually,
I think this is the third of 3 consecutive seasons that we went, or not consecutively, but 3 consecutive league visits that we rocked up at Highbury and got all the points. So I'll bring him in from the cold, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just go to the video.
Come in, son. Come in.
As I say, it's only about 30, 40 seconds, so it's not that much. But it's all I could find.
Marzi got the biscuits.
Here we go.
Ready. I got the tea.
Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. It's short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
Double chocolate
free kick to West Ham United. John Moncur takes it in short. Tony Cottee plays it back to Moncur, plays it across the penalty box. And there is Don Hutchison at the far post to sweep it past David Seaman to make it West Ham 1-0 up. It was a fantastically worked free kick. Here it is again. John Moncur plays it into Tony Cottee on the edge of the box, offloads it back to John Moncur, who plays it across the penalty box. There is Don Hutchison to make it 1-0 to West Ham United here at Highbury.
Gatesy, they're not picking him up, are they? Like I said, because we're not playing like when we don't play like Cottee and Hutchinson. See, that's an interesting point, isn't it? He's on his own. He's not marked because they don't know who's playing up front, and they're like, So we're playing like 5 in midfield with Don breaking to join up with Cotty. That's
yeah,
really
Don
weird.
was sort of like but no, as I say, it was obviously we'd won there the previous season 2-0, which was our first season in the Premier League, and then 2 seasons earlier when we was last in the top flight, we went there and won 1-0 with the Mike Small goal. So this was one of 3 consecutive league fixtures that we played at Highbury over the space of 4 seasons, because obviously there was a spell where we was in the second tier, and we won all 3 of them, which was, you know, quite something. You know, I mean, to win 3 consecutive times at Arsenal, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I think it's really good. I think we forgot to show the Man United program, didn't we? I can't remember now.
Hang on, let me. I think I've got it here somewhere. Unless you
Don,
got it there, mate.
So, yeah, I got Don Hutchinson. Yeah, Don's on the back of it.
It's
so
got
Don, I love Don. I love Don.
Who's that in the other picture? The little picture.
Oh yeah, the advertising
Not
that.
one.
Oh,
No,
this
that
is
one.
the centenary. Well spotted,
That one.
Malsey. Yeah, that's the one. But Malsey spotted it well. So the advertising
The
next
centenary
season
kit.
Yeah, so you got Matty Holmes
Yeah.
and Potsy on that one. Yeah,
Like that kit.
Potsy.
In answer to Jordan,
I think the
question,
collar's a bit dodgy, aren't they, Malsey? Collar's a bit dodgy.
Yeah. We've only been going since February, Jordan. That's the reason, you know. And to be honest, you know, I think we were on 362 last time I looked, and that's fine. I'm not really in a race, you know. We're just sort of going with the flow,
what
mate.
me
so, you know,
listen, what me and Gates are discussing. It's a very, very new show, and
and that is probably true as well, Luke. Yeah, we're not very good, but whatever.
No. Oh yeah, love you. No, that's fine. That's all banter. But but what it is, there's not mentioning any channels. There's some channels. I mean, Gates was mentioning yesterday that they depends what they look at. So they're not. Yeah. So it takes a while when nothing's happening. Then suddenly, within a short gap, picks up. But like Gatesy said, him and Duke and Marley, they're refreshingly, unlike a lot of people, they're not looking at stats or numbers. It's more about quality content, more about getting a small family together, and they spread the word. You know, like word of mouth, isn't it, Gatesy, that we always talk about? Has to build where's your card, mate? Or you got a website? Like, no. If I do a good job, I'll tell the guy next to me. And that way you get many more long term, and those people will stick with you. Whereas, and I want this whatever we do to be special within West Ham and stay within very early days. This is probably the youngest channel, I believe. It could be.
Probably. I don't
think so.
There's too many that I know of that are
no.
younger.
We don't
Just
get
cover Jordan's point here.
Oh yeah.
He's just asking something a little bit more up to the modern day about the rumored signing of Alex Crowell. I've never seen the guy play, but I know a lot of people that have seen him play and say that he's decent. 14 million quid, and it will obviously put a little bit of, or take a little bit of pressure off of Declan Rice and Thomas Souček. So he's not a goal scoring CDM, so he's not going to be in the Souček mold, despite the fact that he's a fellow Czech international. He's probably more a Declan Rice type player, but
his agents confirmed that we've had talks.
Yeah, so watch this space, Jordan.
And Marzi, we've had chats with the is it Seema, the striker as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've got really, really good relationship with that club. That's why I felt that striker. I think Luca Toni's going to blow half our budget away. I don't think we're going to go for him. I think the Slavia.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice touch.
Saying he's seen you on West Ham Fan TV, Jazz. So he's come here to see you, nothing to do with us two Muppets.
Oh, that's nice. I thought it was a lady. I thought it was a lady. Oh, well, never mind. That's nice. I love you, Jordan.
It might be. We don't know. It could be a female. I don't know.
What we tell everyone is, let's get next season started, and we'll meet face to face at the ground. And Jazz will show you all the mad places around the ground, what to do, what not, and we'll have a good laugh, mate, when we meet face to face. And we do that.
But
Like
thanks
that.
for coming. Thanks for coming, Jordan, and tell your friends. As I say, we're still growing, and slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, we're not looking at that. We're looking at original things, like you said. You said,
Yeah.
I've mentioned a few ideas to lads, and we'll do things different. No one's ever done this, and yeah, quality over content, mate. And there's a lot of channels out there, a lot of repeat. That's why. I just want to put my thing out there, which has nothing to do with this channel at all. Personally, with me, I used to follow a lot of channels, but it got to a point where they were doing the same thing repeatedly and very frequently, and I'm like, I ain't got time for this anymore. And I just space it out a bit more, look for something different. And I love this channel and really happy that the guys have got me on here and we have a good laugh. And yeah, that's it really. So what's Luke up to? What's he saying?
He's saying to Jordan, "You're welcome, but be aware he's a massive bell end." He is, in fairness, Jordan. Just to
we
warn
got to
you,
get
but you know
together.
what? He's our bell end.
All the bell ends have got to get together in the pub. We've got to sort it out, mate. We've got to sort it out.
And by the way, Luke, I haven't forgotten about your shirts, but I've got to talk to Duke about how we're going to sort of do things. So, I haven't.
I saw some nice ones on another channel. Nice ones, the ones, Marzi. Nice ones up there, and new ones are coming out. European ones are coming out. So yeah, let's get some ones with a European theme. I've seen some ones with a yeah. Think about those
plenty of things we can get our teeth into next season with the European. I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So, who's everyone's hammer of the year? I've got mine already.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right, I'm just before we go with that.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That is our final league record, if you will. So we played 42, won 13, drew 11, lost 18 in this season. We only scored 44 goals, which is quite meagre over 42 games. However, we only conceded 48, which is not bad. Not bad at all. So our goal difference was -4. Yeah. We had 50 points and we finished 14th of 22. So that was our league record. So as for goal scoring, our top goal scorer was in the league was Tony Cottee with 13.
Yeah, brilliant.
All competitions, he was again the top goal scorer with 15. As for our attendances, our highest home attendance was the last game of the season match against Manchester United that Jazz covered, May, 24,783. Our lowest home attendance was in the League Cup on the 5th of October, 13,553 against Walsall, with our average home league attendance of 20,118. But to put it into context, guys, as I say, this season was when the North Bank was being demolished and was being replaced by the Centenary stand. So for a lot of that season, we was only operating with 3 stands at the ground.
I think the Blackburn attendance was probably close second, wasn't it, after Manchester United?
Yeah,
I think, quite close.
Thereabout.
On the phone when I left.
Hello.
It's the missus.
All right. She's back from a restaurant
for dinner and drinks, and you're still on the phone.
All right, love. All right, cheers.
It's our fault. It's not him.
Say hello to Marzi.
It's all down to us. How you doing? You all right?
Men talk.
You just
Seriously, there's a problem here.
No.
There is a real problem.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
Lovely.
However, what is there to talk about?
We're live. We're live.
Oh, there's
Jesus
plenty.
Christ. You know we're live. You realise we're live.
I don't give a shit, but I'm just saying.
No, bring her back.
How much can you talk?
We love West Ham.
The season.
Oh, let's talk
husband
about food. What are you going to make?
hell of a lot.
Kebabs or butter chicken? What are you going to make? What are you going to make?
Yeah. What are we getting?
That got rid of her quick. Anyway, there we go.
Beautiful.
It's all good.
Cup exploits.
Yeah, we'll love
Definitely. Cup exploits. Not too good in this particular season, ladies and gentlemen. Both competitions we went out in the 4th round. In the FA Cup, it was against Queen's Park Rangers at Loftus Road. We lost 1-0. And in the League Cup, again, the 4th round at at home to Bolton Wanderers, we lost 3-1.
Good team.
As for the club, they awarded their particular Hammer of the Year awards to Steve Potts and the runner-up Tony Cottee.
Potsy didn't miss a game. I noticed that Gatesy. He didn't miss a game all
Yeah.
season, along with McCloskey. Yeah. Wow.
Yep. So, Milesy, your hammer of the year.
It's my mate Don Hutchinson for me.
Okay.
Every game I picked in, he was involved in. Made 27 appearances, 25 from the start, and 11 goals. And a lot of them goals were crucial in us winning. So I've got a lot of respect for him. I even liked him on his other spell under Glenn Roeder. I thought he was a good player back then, and he's just a good person to have around. And yeah, I love him really.
Okay. Jazz, your hammer of the year?
Oh, this is difficult. I just need to check the stats out. So basically, like Marzi said, Hutchinson. Where's his? Hang on a minute. Where's his name gone? 21 games. Oh wow, 9 goals.
She probably has, Jordan. He's deciding, ladies and gentlemen. He's cogitating.
Do you want to tell us first, Gatesy, what your one is? Well,
Oh,
He's got a decision to make here, ladies and gentlemen. It
I'm
seems.
gonna go for Tony Cotty. I'm gonna go for Cotty. Cotty 31 games, 13 goals. Don 21 and 9. But I can. But as a kid, I was more excited about Don. I understand that because it's a big signing. You remember I said at the beginning, 1.5 million. I think what I said. So he's a player that I think is due to happen on that IB for something like that. Gatesy you were mentioning in that summer, and Liverpool decided.
Yep.
You know, Harry always likes the Kenya, not a good player, but he's got into trouble for like a few days, and Harry's in there like that. That's why I love what he does. And Don came back for what we'll know is 1 or 2 went and came back, went and came back. So very close. But I'll go for. But one thing I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be shocked by this, Gatesy, is right. Listen to the stats, everyone. So when this season ends, Tony Cotty's career at West Ham in total is 234 appearances.
Yeah. Is that all competitions or just league?
League. But
Okay.
but it's very impressive when I tell you the cup. So the thing I'm telling you is I got big. I'll go back to it in a minute. I'm getting excited with this now. Right. I couldn't have. This is again what I'm telling you. I got programs lying everywhere, but I haven't got the time to open each page, and perhaps I've read it in the past. I've forgotten. So Gatesy, I'm gonna love to shock you with this stat. Yeah.
Go on.
So up to end of the season, Tony Cotty for West Ham United in the league only 234 appearances, 105 goals, nearly 1 in 2. That's remarkable. 234 games, and talking about cups, Gatesy, you're going to fall off your chair now.
Go on.
48 cup games, 27 goals.
That is ridiculous.
And why I didn't know that is if I just put the camera a little bit there and you see that shirt there, it's signed by Cotty and McAvenny, and Cotty at the end. The record has deteriorated, obviously due to age and other things. So by the end of when he's played, that 234, 105 has gone down to, actually they've added it together, the silly sods, haven't they? So 280 in... No, actually, no. 130 in 234. It's gone down to 116 in 280 games. So it's gone below the 1 in 2.
Still not bad.
50 games he's kind of, I wouldn't say wasted, but at the end being a sub or just not. But up to that point, God, that was 1 in 2 nearly in the league and over 1 in 2 in the cup for West Ham. I mean, we look at McAvenny, 59 in 153, which is 1 in 3 nearly. So Cotty's 1 in 2, McAvenny 1 in 3, and that's you didn't realise, did you? I didn't know that, Gatesy.
Yeah.
Put a bit
Sorry.
more. Put a bit more.
Had
bit
to
more
get that
colour
one
on
out.
him, bit more of a suntan on him when he would get there.
I was going to
The
say
hairs are-
he needs
the
a
hair-
little bit more.
The hair's the same, and I got all right eyesight. That's about it. But yeah, Milesy, did you
Beautiful.
like that stat? Did you like that?
Love it.
Well,
Let's get
my hammer of the year.
negative. Let's get negative.
No, we're positive on this channel.
That's the
We're
private joke.
positive.
Me, Milesy.
That's it. My hammer of the year is same as yours. Although I did wonder about going for Michael Hughes because I thought,
man,
although
I
he was
forgot about
only on
him.
loan from Strasbourg at this point, I did wonder whether to give it to him. But I did sort of think, well, without Tony Cotty's goals, we'd have very likely gone down. So his goals were the difference this season. But having said that, I thought that Michael Hughes was brilliant this season. And as I say, he was a loan signing at this point from Strasbourg. I think we signed him before the next season starts, if I remember correctly, as a permanent. But he was brilliant player as far as I can remember. He was really, really tricky. Just an absolute pain in the arse for opposition defenders.
Do you know what I've
But
noticed?
yeah, I went Tony Cotty
Yeah.
in the end.
What I've noticed with Michael Hughes is the 3 games I chose are all from the latter end of the season, from mid onwards, and that's when he joined. So he's only played 14 games and made an impact from there. Yeah, there you go.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
then
as I say,
Martin Allen,
with that Arsenal game that I picked, as I say, that Arsenal game on the 5th of March that I picked, the 1-0 win at Highbury, that was the first game in a 13-match sequence towards the end of the season where we only went on to lose 2 games in those coming 13.
Yeah,
we
you're
won
right.
at Highbury. We lost against Newcastle at St James's. 2 draws against Norwich City and Southampton. Then a win against Villa. Draw against Forest. Win against Wimbledon. Draw against Ipswich. Win against Blackburn. Draw against QPR. Loss against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Win against Liverpool and draw against Man United. So, yeah. Where are we going, Jazz? Where are you taking us?
I was showing you the lovely Ruby, but she's
Please don't take us to the toilet.
No. Oh, we've already had fun and games with that, haven't we? Fun and games with that. The only new thing I've got to show you in terms of history is someone. I bought programs from someone today, and he's actually given me the programs in the old, which is a smaller case for the 1970s programs. You can't buy these. You can't buy those online anymore. So I'm ordering more from the club shop. And I'll tell you what, a good stat is, everyone, is when you collect every home program from 1970 to the present season, you're talking about, you need about 45 of these, 47, 48. And each one, the bigger one is £10 each one from the club shop. This, they don't sell this anymore. This is a little one. You can't tell the size of it, but it's got the old.
Yeah.
So this is one I was missing. It's a whole set from 1970,
Programs were quite small, weren't they? Yeah, that's the ones.
1980. They're the little ones. So, I mean, this is how the whole shelf is looking at the moment, and hopefully you'll come round one day. This is, oh God, where's my bloody thing gone? So it starts from there. You got the 1970s from there. And then I've got the 1980s building slowly, and then at the bottom I'll get them finished up, and then this is, as an example, you can't even lift. This is just from the season, like all of them that I get posted, like for every game subscription from the beginning. So they're way good, and the shelves are even bending a bit. It's a brand new bookcase I bought, and they're bending a bit now.
Have to reinforce it.
Yeah, I might need to stick another shelf on and see how we do. But yeah, I just want to collect every home game. But I'm just a bit of a collector, I think. Panini stickers and all that. We'll see how it goes. But it's just, I don't know how people keep all these like mint condition. I mean, and every program's like a history. I mean, this guy, if I just pick up around, this guy, Mark Smith, I know so much crap. Like, so Mark Smith, no one will knows. But until I saw a podcast with, I think it was Nicky and
Smith.
Nigel Khan. So the history with him, he was he's a local Canning Town boy. He got injured, but he was part of the squad of the 1980 FA Cup, but he never actually made an appearance. And then what Nicky tells us on West Ham Fans TV is that we encountered him doing
Yeah.
community work, and Mark would tell Nicky. Nicky's obviously younger than me and you, Gatesy. So he would tell Nicky, "Oh, Nicky, I used to play for West Ham," and Nicky would say, "Yes, Mark. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Mark. Yes, Mark." Never believed
Oh
him
dear.
till Mark one day bought the team group, and Nicky's like, "Oh my god!" So you got these players, and then
dear.
the best
Did
story
he ever play a first team game for us then?
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to look. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to have a look. And thing with, I don't know if anyone's had a cat. They
Wowsy,
love.
Google it.
Yeah, Mark Smith. Cuckoo, get in there. She got Ruby, naughty Ruby. But the other thing is, I'm going to tell you a really interesting story on the back of a lot of the podcast is. So Nigel's a Canning Town boy, and I'm not from there, and obviously one or two people are not, and he started asking questions about something, and he's an historian. He mentioned a player's name during World War II or World War One. Miles, you right? Oh,
He played one game.
Okay.
as a sub. Okay.
He made his West Ham debut in the 5-1 League Cup victory against Southend in 1979.
Oh, so he only played in the League Cup. He never played a league game.
Right. Fullback.
No, that's unfortunate. Fullback.
Ruby's-
Okay.
But just one more story was.
Oh, hello.
imagine-
Fresh has come in with something here. Look at this.
Oh, there we go.
This is good
Yeah,
stuff. He captained
see?
the youth team before making his West Ham
Yeah.
debut October 79 in a 5-1 League
Oh,
Cup
okay.
victory against
Oh.
Southend. There you
Oh,
go.
because someone
I
picked
never
Ruby
knew
up. She's
that.
destroying the carpet in the garage. Sorry, no one's listening to me. I don't know where they are.
Nothing ever changes there, does it, Jazz?
No, it's leaving me to. Anyway, yeah. So that point. So interesting story. So Nigel's walking down Canning Town, talking to. So he's a locksmith by trade. So Nigel goes, I moved in, bought my first house. Roughly actually he's older than me, and he goes opposite. He goes, there's a guy. I don't know what his name was. He goes, there's a pain in the backside. He kept on locking himself in, the old boy, and I used to just break it up for him. And then he goes, what I did, I used to go for a nice chat. You know, if someone's really old, a bit lonely, just have a little chat with him.
Yeah.
And
Make an
Nigel's
effort.
Nigel's talking about West Ham, and then he goes, and he's a collector. He's a collector of everything West Ham you can imagine. Actually, Ruby's going out. Let me just. Oh, she's so clever. She ran back in again. Oh, right.
Keep still,
Forget-
Ruby. Stay where you are.
You know how clever she knew what I was going to do, and she ran back in again. Right. And then he goes, oh, Len, I've got some cigarette cards from the war days, 1920s, 1930s. Do you recognise any of the players, Len? And Len's
Wow.
Len's like, let me have a look. What you got there? And then he's having a look. He goes, that's fucking so and so. He lives across the road, Nigel. He lives across the road. Nigel's like, what?
No.
He goes across the road from a few footsteps on West Ham's ground, and no one at the club knows. And this player, he apparently played in internationals for England during Hitler's time. He told Hitler to done the salute, told him to do that, and he goes, the club
Yeah.
don't even know he's there.
Wow.
And he's there alive as an 83-year-old in a 2 up, 2 down.
And when was
within that-
this?
I reckon 15 years, 20 years ago. 15, 20 years
So
ago.
this
It's
guy's
gotta be
probably gone now.
gone now. Yeah. You're talking 2001, mate.
Oh,
Gotta be.
mate.
And this is why I
that
love
sad?
history. History is my favourite subject, and West Ham, I've got to do a lot more research on it yet, but that's why a lot of fans I know, we'll get him on one day, and there's so much history about where our old ground was, where he found out where there used to be just a normal park and no one knew, the gates are painted clear and blue. Why? And then they found out that those changing rooms were once West Ham's before we moved to Upton Park. All this history is there. The place where we
Wow.
signed the papers to become West Ham United, that building's still there in Canning, wherever in West Ham.
Really?
London, yeah, that room up there. He goes, that's where Mr. Arnold signed the papers, and then it's a lot of a lot of history there, mate. A lot of
Wow.
players perished during the World Wars, and we won the FA Cup during the war that can't be counted. I think we beat Blackburn in.
It was the
during that.
Football League Wartime Cup. Yes.
Yeah, I
won it
think
in
we beat Blackburn. I
1940.
think.
Yep,
Mm.
Sam Small scored, ladies and gentlemen, just in case anybody's interested.
Yeah, so it's just so many stories like that, and yeah, I just love it, mate. I love all these stories. You know, like Miles is like, yeah, we should have a wood campfire, go out down Devon and Dorset, get our sleeping bags together, and get some cider
Yeah,
and
let's
cheese
do
and
it.
pickle, some
Let's do
Branston
it.
pickle. Yeah, seriously, I'm up for it.
Ma-
Mate.
Yeah.
ma- ma- marshmallows.
Fishing rods out.
Marshmallows.
I've never been
I
fishing.
never had marshmallows like that. Are they right? But yeah, I mean, Miles, like you
Toasted on
said,
the fire.
Gatesy, interesting story, isn't it? I mean, I'll tell you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's a player who played for West
it's a bit
Ham.
sad as well.
Yeah,
It's a bit
forgotten,
sad
mate.
that
They
this guy was just sort of forgotten about by the club. I mean, this is well,
Cal, that's a great comment.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm staggered. I'm staggered. I was a steward for that game. Behave. I might
pass the
bar
rum
you
around
from the
then.
channel.
I don't even know if Bacardi was around back then, so you can leave me alone. I don't know.
Is that what you've been drinking tonight? Because Scott asked a little bit earlier. What were
Yeah,
you
I got 2
drinking?
bottles of after whiskey again, back to that again, and I meant to leave the coke. I can't help it. Like my witch is like, yeah, she's right. She goes, you can't keep drinking all that Diet Coke. What you do with your rum? She's right. I'm like, when I try it with lemonade, it ain't the same thing. What shall I do? Bloody hell, I don't know. I mean,
like the rum. She likes the rum, or is she more of wine?
Yeah. When we used to, obviously, I met her at college, so we go back a long time. Me and the missus, we're like childhood. We used to do go sessioning in Park Southern Comfort, bottles of lemonade, and yeah, she likes Bacardi's like neutral. Even the lady at Spice Rum, especially, they're like that. She's more of a.
Yep.
She's really into a wine at the moment. A red. Actually, it's more Argentinian. Malbec red wine. Not so keen on the white wine. She finds it a bit too. Yeah, a bit too acidy and that type. She doesn't like the white wine too much. 7 years, all right. She likes gin. She's a big fan of gin, the Hendricks and all the Edwards and all them lot. I remember once it's really hot and she got me a gin because it goes with the mixer. So you get we all know the Schweppes mixers, but you got those the Fever Tree. That's
lovely.
They made a lot of money. So she goes, this one is I forgot, is Edwards. God, what flavor? It's a very unique flavor, and it goes with ginger ale mixer, not the other one. And wow, that kind of was it rhubarb? It's like a rhubarb flavor bloody gin, and it goes with ginger ale. It's like it blows your mind.
Rhubarb flavored gin.
Yeah, rhubarb flavored Edwards gin with ginger ale.
Do you know, I've never had gin.
In summer, it's really good. If it's hot, it's a lovely, refreshing drink. It's nice.
Yeah, Jazz, I have gin with Fever Tree tonic with a load of ice. Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
A slice of lemon.
Because they got that special glass you meant to have. It was like quite circular and quite big to hold, isn't it? When you go to a pub.
I have my West Ham Fan TV post-match pint glass. Fill it all the way up.
Oh, I haven't got that one, but interesting. But yeah, I mean, everyone. Yeah, there's loads of stories like that where our ground used to be. How do we become who we were? And I think there's stories of other clubs that were not in the location that we know them to be. They were from other areas. And I mean, Stratford is where we are. I don't like it. But then when I think about it, that Green Street area, it wasn't ours either. It's gone. The locals don't even support the team anymore.
Shithole in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's not what we know.
Even the market was a shithole.
Oh, it was. It's just hard to get to. Okay, easy to park. I used to drive sometimes and park a few roads down, but yeah, it just hurts me when a local just support Man U Liverpool. I just can't stand it. That's what that's what
really.
Because I used to live in Dagenham when we were at Upton Park, I used to walk home. It was about 3.5 miles, and it was still quicker than the train.
It's not
just
easy
to jump in on this one from Jordan, if I may,
okay.
chaps, before we sort of carry on.
Yeah.
Because Jordan sort of saying we should do a big quiz all about West Ham. I've done it the last couple of weeks, although last week I didn't, and I'm probably not going to have a chance to this week. But normally I do it on a Saturday, Jordan. Usually it's 2:20 because I time it for sort of like between the lunchtime kickoff and the 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. So it's sort of like sandwiched between the two. It usually does encroach on the 3 o'clock kickoff because we start waffling on like we are now. This is just what we do. We start talking about football and then it goes off on all sorts of different directions. But yeah, I have been doing quizzes. If you want, I mean, sort of like go back on the channel, you can obviously have a look, and obviously you can't join in, but you know, it can, there's things you might learn there as you go along. No
yeah, I
problem
like
at all,
quizzes. I
but,
got to the semi-final of the big hammer shots with American Hammers TV, and I got done by. It was a controversial one point that we kept arguing and disagreeing about, and what we found out in the end, you're going to laugh, Gatesy, was that
go on.
I'm so honest. I found out that 1 or 2 questions they said I was right, I was actually wrong in the end, and where they said I was wrong,
Oh,
I was
really?
right, and then I gave up. It was about the wording of the question. So one of the questions was, what season did we have Doctor some certain Umbro kit, and I was right, and because we've had it twice. So my answer was technically correct. He said no, and I said, you didn't tell me when, first or second time. I'm a bit nerdy like that, and a couple of things went right because some of the people used to write the questions. We know who they are, and the one that really stuffed me. You're gonna what's he said now in the? Oh man. I told him to throw it in the bin, and I'll personally buy you one from eBay, mate. Does anyone know
I'm
Mark?
not
Though?
fixing that wash. I am not
Gatesy,
fixing his washing machine. Oh God! If he sends me a message through social media or something, Gatesy, can you come and fix my washing machine? I'll be like, I've retired.
Gatesy, imagine if he has to get replaced
God.
and like Curry swap it out and all the pipes.
well, the other, yeah, you're right.
In answer to that question, Jordan, it's usually Kent that wins. I'm sure you've seen him. He does the rounds. Kent usually jumps in, and he's usually
Does
the winner.
Duke know Kent? Because from Kent, does Duke know Kent? I don't know. I'm just making crap up. Does he know Kent? Duke or...
Kent Hammers, Kent Irons. If I remember rightly, he's a little bit further out into Kent. I think he's like Ashford, maybe out as far as Folkestone, that sort of direction. He's further out from us.
Yeah, my son was once like
So...
when he was applying for unis, we were looking at like.
Thank you, Luke.
So University of Essex, it's in Colchester, which is on the border with bloody East Anglia. So you don't know where places are.
Yeah,
sometimes.
sort of like towards Suffolk, isn't it?
Yeah. So my son's like, bloody hell, that's one hell. You're in the middle of nowhere, Colchester. I don't know what goes on down there. Anyone been there?
Yeah.
Colchester? Yeah. Been through.
Yeah.
Well, been there. They've got a
Been
zoo
to their
there,
ground
haven't
as
they?
well.
Have you? Wow.
Their new ground. It's right on the A12. Literally, you can see it as you drive past it.
Are they non-league?
Yeah.
I was
No,
telling
they're
my
about
son.
third or fourth there, aren't they?
Gatesy, I was telling my kids, like some clubs, like Aldershot. My first ever West Ham away game was Aldershot, 1989. We went down. They're not in the league, I don't think. As far as I know, they're out of it.
Aldershot,
Hereford,
no.
Hereford, are they in the league? Hereford? I don't know.
No, I think they dropped out as well.
See,
Cahill, old people, excuse me.
don't be like that, mate. Don't be like that. We're like nicely matured, like old wine.
Yeah. Bang out of order, I think. I'll ban you. I'll block you on Twitter like other people do. That's a sly little dig there. Boom, have that. The name of my company. I've retired, Mark. I've retired. That I've taken up a new job. I'm now a road sweeper.
Poopy Limited.
Yeah. That'll be the one. But
yeah, let's organise a reunion, and some of our little viewers can perhaps come to the pub, and Dukesy makes a bit of a much needed, but a bit of a boom, and it'd be good.
I'll tell you what, I've got the banner here. If anybody does need the information, my co-host, my wingman, Mr. Duke, who all of you should know, except for obviously Jordan, who might not if he's sort of new to the channel. This is his establishment, his pub in Dartford or Greenhithe, whichever. It's sort of on the borders, really. For those of you that sort of know the area roughly, it's not far from Blue Water. So if any of you want to rock up there and wander in and say hello to Duke, and if I'm there, you can say hello to me as well. I don't bite.
How far are you from there, Gatesy?
well-
Quite close, aren't you?
I could walk there in 10 minutes.
Oh, you lucky sod. Okay. Have you eaten in there?
that's all good.
Food-wise? Lovely, lovely.
Yes. Yeah,
Marzi, how
yeah.
long
No,
does it take you to
they
get
do
there?
a decent.
Pardon, mate?
How long does it take you to get there?
25 minutes in the car. Not far at all, really.
Cahill. That's not hate. Let's not get into this discussion now.
I
There is
need
a
a wee.
world of
I'll be back.
difference between that and hate.
Wash your hands. Wash your
Oh,
hands.
I knew someone would be the first to go.
Falcon, come on.
Don't
Yeah,
hate
come on,
me.
Falcon, if you want to have a chat. Come on, mate. Come on.
I'll tell
we
you
had a
what,
chat for
I'll tell you what,
for
right.
ages after one of the other shows, and a really nice guy.
I'm gonna. If anybody does want to jump in, I'm gonna take it to 3 hours 25 because then we'll break. Because it was 3 hours 21 last time, so we'll break the record because I've been set that challenge. So stuff it. So if anybody wants to jump in, there you go.
Yeah.
There's the link. And we, if it's Cahill or if it's Tom or if it's Luke, if anybody wants to jump in and just chat random nonsense, or Jordan, anybody that's watching, come one,
There's
come
one.
all.
There's one.
So-
Just reminding me. There's one channel that again really top people. Looked at the views. I thought, yeah, it'll take. And then last week, it all happens in itself. You don't have to push it, like you said. Don't get desperate. Don't rush it. Just do your content regularly in quality, and it'll all follow. Simple as that.
Here
he
is. Look.
There's Ruby.
Who's
Look at
popped
Ruby.
his West Ham
Ruby.
Online.
Ruby.
Oh look,
say hello.
there's Ruby. Hello,
Look
Ruby.
at Ruby. Ruby, say hello. Ruby, no, that's not bloody West Ham figures. What are you doing? No. Ruby,
So, 60 days West Ham Online.
Ruby,
Yeah,
what are you
60
doing?
days, yeah.
What's your first legal drink gonna be? Do you think?
Mr. Jameson.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really going
Hard?
to be looking at what the first legal one
Huh?
is.
You take Ruby out of the garage, please. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ruby's getting in the way.
He's thinking what's the first illegal one of the weekend.
Casey, I haven't learned to pick her up. I don't know how to pick the cat up. I don't know how to do it, mate.
Cahill,
Yeah, I can't.
talk to me.
Oh, how are you?
Have you
I'll
got
tell you
your
what.
head in a bucket or something?
No, does it sound all muffled?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit tinny.
All right, give me a minute. I'll be back.
Gatesy, I tell you
Oh.
what, time really does
Yes, mate.
fly. On a match day, time feels so slow waiting for the game. Today I got in at 3
Yeah.
o'clock. I've sat down and I'm not even joking. I've just watched the old episode and this one and not really done much in between it.
Have you
And it's
seen my
11
other
o'clock.
one from last night?
I've just been, when I saw the comments coming in from that guy, I just had to.
They're really happy. They go, oh, the ratings went through the roof, and well, whatever. Yeah.
You on about Mark
Yeah, on the other
With his
show as
little,
well, and then Mark as
with
well.
his explosion?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
What's that one? What's that one, Mark? What happened? What's that?
Mark's diarrhea.
Oh, bloody hell. Got ya.
Pants. The magic pants.
Yeah, he might have
Oh,
to get some
dear.
new ones.
I think he ought to. Hang on, Cahill's just come back in the green room. Let's pull him in. There he is. Try again, mate.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Are you in a
Oh my
submarine?
word.
So bad.
Cal, it sounds like you're in the Pacific Ocean right now.
Right, give me another minute. Back.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're scuba diving.
He's in Mark's washing machine.
It's
Yeah, he's with
entirely
Mark.
possible.
Cal,
It's
Cal's
entirely... Oh no. Oh,
he's in there.
oh,
He's
it's a fake
in there
word.
with the flavours.
Death. That's death.
Nice photo, isn't it?
Shall I tell you
Nice
what?
photo there.
Because we've got another. Oh, hang on. So it's Ray Stewart and is that Stuart Pearson?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
We may
Pearson.
as well go to 4 hours now, Gates. You get
No.
4 hours.
Oh, hang
No,
on.
because we've
Hang
been on it
Look at
longer.
this.
You're cheating now.
Look at this. He's come here just to give me a load of stick and insult me now. How are you, Luke?
All right, boys. How are we?
Yeah,
Good,
not
mate.
Yeah.
bad, mate.
We're tired.
Not
We're
bad.
tired.
Talk to me. How's your day
going?
going?
You, mate? It's your round now, mate. It's your round.
I'm on the Vimto.
Oh, yeah, I like Vimto.
Oh,
I like Vimto.
Vimto.
I like Vimto.
Do you remember? You must remember this, boys. Do you remember the old Vimto where they used to have the old British Bulldog on the bottle? Do you remember that? Bring
Listen,
back the British Bulldog.
I mentioned the name of another tropical brand, and my daughter had a go at me saying you can't name that drink that anymore. But that's another story. But with the Vimto,
What's
yeah,
that?
bit of spice,
I'm Bongo, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you knew it, didn't you? You got it in one, mate. You got it in one.
Ah.
It's pretty
hang
shit
on,
drink
Cavill
anyway.
just popped in.
On Bungo,
There he is.
Vimto's the one. Vimto, I love it. We like Vimto, mate. Vimto's
I
top.
like Vimto.
When I was a kid, I used to go on a nutty half hour on Sunny Delight.
Oh, that thing should be banned,
Oh.
mate. E-colours galore.
That's
Oh my
that's
God.
full of all sorts of additives.
Miles,
and
you
Christ
must be
knows
jumping
what.
off your sofa and headbutting the walls. All kind.
Billy Whiz.
Tom just said about a can of
doing bicycle
Rio.
kicks from right back. left back. Sorry,
Dear, oh
left
dear.
back.
Remember me.
Dear, oh dear.
Come
Well,
on, in, you boys.
I'm
Join the
gonna-
banter. Come on, in, you boys. Come on, a bit. Come on,
I-
join in. Give
before
some funny
we do,
things.
because
Karaoke
getting
night.
close to. Yeah, that's Duke's got to sort that out. Actually, Andy's got to sort out the hip.
When are you
Karaoke.
wearing hippo costume, Gatesy?
I'll sing some
he gets one,
Bollywood
apparently,
songs if
he's
you
been,
want.
He's been trying to get hold of one, and apparently he can't find one that fits my slender frame.
What an insult!
Yeah.
What kind of
What can I
costume
do?
is this? What are you looking for, Gatesy? What are you looking for?
Hippo. Gloria from
Hippo.
Madagascar.
Hippo head, Sam. Okay.
It all
Right,
started
Alfie,
at
explain
Hippo
it to
Gate.
him.
So Hippo
Go on,
Gate started
explain it.
one day. Me, Duke, and Gatesy were doing a stream about 2 months ago, and Gatesy was just talking about how his wife was pregnant in the stands at West Ham and looked like a fat hippo. And then everyone just burst out laughing. The whole stream went mental, and then the next 2 days we just talked about zoo animals and stuff.
Why not? Gotcha.
I'll tell you what, hang on. Jordan, right? I'll tell you what, listen, it's entirely up to you, mate. If you want to turn your camera off like the three on the bottom row, listen, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, come one, come all. If you feel uncomfortable with having your camera on, have your camera off.
Yeah,
These three have.
I'm really beautiful. I'm just lying in bed right now.
You keep it that way.
Jordan,
You keep it that way.
Jordan, you're lucky.
We thought you were in the washing machine.
Annoying.
We thought you were in the
People
washing
find
machine.
what I say annoying.
Give me 1 minute and get some.
Sorry, say again, Luke.
There's nothing.
I was going to say Jordan's lucky. People might find his voice annoying, but people find what I say is annoying, so it swings and roundabouts.
I don't know what you mean, Luke. I don't know what you mean. I've never ever seen anything that I've found offensive, or well, maybe I have once or twice. Actually, always. But that's why I like you coming on, because you add a little bit of a different dimension to things. It's not boring.
We beat the record, Gatesy.
Oh,
We
brilliant!
have. Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I've
What the hell is he
contributed
doing?
I've contributed to
You know.
5 minutes of the 3 hours 22.
Every little helps. Every little helps. What is he? Is he cracking some ice?
I think he's making cereal.
Oh yeah, it could be. Big bowl of sugar puffs.
That sound you might have heard. There's no human being being hit.
We heard it.
It was ice.
Oh, that's
so
all right.
When you get the ice out of the chest freeze, you have to.
Phew.
Yeah. Everyone's alive. Everyone's happy. And going back to the misses, Gatesy, the first ever game I took her to, we beat Barnsley 6-0 with a Johnny Hartson hat.
I was there.
Samasi Abu.
Abu scored. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Samasi
yeah.
Abu. Wow. Jesus Christ. What? Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, I
Planning to
remember
go
that.
to any European away days.
Yep. If I can go, I'll go to all of them. But it's all about membership and I'll give you an
I've got to
example
get a
how big we
passport.
are. When we played Blackpool, I tried for I couldn't get a ticket. Every ticket for West Ham was sold. Blackpool were like half. I wouldn't say 3/4, maybe 60% empty seats. This is how big we are. You imagine like away. I put my name on the away season ticket. Like I ain't got a chance, mate. We're like big, mate. And you imagine. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be one landing there with no tickets and landing in the. I know West Ham. I know my little mates, and when we go to Europe, I'm only concerned if we do something a bit naughty that it doesn't come to bite us in the back. And Gatesy, I'm quite serious about that in terms of when we play teams in Holland, in Germany, wherever.
Yeah,
we've got a reputation. I just hope I hope our boys keep it nice, and sometimes it's not their fault. It's what the local.
We'll think about the club's good name. We'll
Does anyone else have
good
concerns? I mean,
ambassadors.
I'm pretty certain
Yeah,
what's gonna. I'm pretty
listen,
certain what's gonna happen.
every club has its.
We're different. We're
sort
different,
of
Gates.
less
You know that.
desirable. Yeah. But every club has its sort of rogue element, if you will. It is. That's just part.
But
and
you know,
parcel
the
of football. I'm
media
not
like
saying
to kick.
right.
The media like to kick us in the backside.
Of course.
At least they'll get a new Green Street movie out.
When Liverpool do it gets covered up. When we do it,
yeah,
it's going to be a different story. But yeah, 1 or 2 trips. Obviously, you can't go to all of them because of work commitments, family, and things like that. But home, because of season ticket holder, obviously, I'm going to have first option to say no to the Thursday home games, and I'm going to take them. I've got 2 at the moment. I used to have 3 season tickets, but the kids have gone to university, and I've just got a little one behind now who goes to sort of secondary school now, so he'll go with me. And they're all greedy now. Like, oh, Dad, why didn't you keep the 3rd one? I'm like, bloody hell. Crazy the kids are, you know what they're like. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got 3 kids' tickets as well as my own, so
yeah,
I know exactly where you're at. Guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up. Before I do, I'm going to do my usual, for those of you that know. For those of you who are watching live and those of you who watch subsequently, please don't go anywhere because this is really important. This is about a young girl fighting for her life. Young Isla Kate, and I'm sure you're aware of her if you're a West Ham fan. But if you're not, then this little girl is suffering with a really rare form of cancer called neuroblastoma. And there ain't no treatment for this on the NHS, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're thinking that she can just rock up to her local hospital, get the treatment and crack on with her life, nope, she can't. So in the middle of this pandemic that we've all been going through in this last year, her family to somehow somehow find the funds to pay for the treatment, pay for the flights, pay for the accommodation to where they've got to go, wherever it is in the world, to get the treatment, which is all experimental, by the way. Their living costs and the bills are still going to pile up in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. So on that banner there, and this is in the description below the stream on YouTube and on Facebook and all the rest of it, it's all there. Could you please go to either the PayPal or the Just Giving? And even if you're putting £1 in, whatever it is, £1 upwards, anything will be, the family will take it. Thank you very much. Whether you can or can't donate, what I would ask you to do further is to copy what we've got, what's on the banner, that information, the PayPal, the Just Giving, put it onto your social media, guys. Put it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, all of that. Send it to your friends, send it to your family via WhatsApp. Do what you got to do, and let's keep the momentum going, guys. Like I say, I wish I could paint this any other way, but time is of the essence. This little girl is dying. No ifs, no buts. And she will not be here if she doesn't get the treatment. So, whether you're a West Ham fan watching this, whether you're a football fan watching this, if you've got a heart, if you've got a sort of family sort of background, let's come together. Let's help this little girl out to see brighter days ahead. Thank you very much indeed for listening. And that is a big part of the reason why we do this, ladies and gentlemen. We have fun. We talk West Ham, but I always bang on about this little girl because I'm a father of 3. I've got a very good friend of mine whose daughter died with this very cancer. So this is quite personal to me. And I'll keep on doing this until my services are not required in that particular realm.
Gatesy, is a lot of the issue to do with our government, or is it just the whole countries apart from the US or wherever we just don't have the...
As I say, I don't know the reasons behind.
Okay, fine.
Why?
Yeah, well, we have to. We should be obviously one of the. Yeah.
Why neuroblastoma? Raising the awareness and getting people having conversations about neuroblastoma. That maybe at some point, people will start to sort of put pressure on the people that need to have pressure put on them to say, no, we are. I mean, it baffles me. And again, I'm getting a little bit political.
Yeah, we're not
here,
third
ladies
world
and gentlemen,
country, are we?
but,
We should.
we're the fifth biggest economy in the world.
Yeah. Bang on, mate. Bang on.
We can't treat a 6-year-old child, one of our citizens. Yeah, I'm sorry. I find that quite astonishing, and that's me being very polite about it.
No, yeah, fair enough. But your passion and the way you do it, hats up to you, son. Hats up. But I mean,
it needs to be said.
Baz does a great job, my brother. Baz a top boy.
Yeah.
So passionate about the whole subject. Top lad. He used to have a lot of fun on his channel, and top boys. We'll get him on our channel. We'll get him on our channel. We'll get.
He did the tier list a little while ago. He's an absolute gentleman. So
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up there. Cahill, thanks for your attendance brief.
Are you there, mate? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm.
You having your Weetabix?
Oh God, no! I'm just laying down.
He's chilling out. Again, also thank you to Luke for your appearance.
Take care, boys.
Cheers,
mate. You ain't going anywhere
yet,
thank
mate. Thank you to West Ham Online also.
No problem. I think the man that we should be thanking is Mark.
Yes, he definitely made us chuckle. To be fair, but I am still not fixing his washing machine.
You put me off enough. I'll tell you
anywhere
that now.
near it. and thank you also. And thank you also to the 2 regular contributors, Jazz and Milesy.
Our pleasure.
So,
great
ladies
channel.
and gentlemen, thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much indeed for watching. And if you could please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and obviously hit the bell icon. You'll be notified of any new content as and when we upload it. You've got the ticker at the bottom with all our social media platforms, so you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Get involved, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. Milesy, what have you got to say for yourself, mate?
We are fucking massive.
We are. And the rest of us, give us a come on you irons, chaps.
Come on you irons. God bless. Everyone keep safe. Keep healthy.
Stay safe, guys.
God bless everyone.
Come on you throw.